I was like 15 or 16. So I like got up and I like went and I like came into church a little late, and like my grandpa was like, "Grandpa, proud of you."
Oh, good.
And so that was like my flip there was because of him. Like, and like I would always tell young players, I'm like, at some point in the game, take a second, like get out of football and like look around, like enjoy it, like look around, because otherwise like you got a job to do. But at the same time, if I would have torn my shoulder and been like, why? And God would have said, well, you're going to own a wedding venue someday. I'd have been like,
oh, you got the wrong guy.
Fix the shoulder. Like, let's go back out. Never done any drugs, and I've never drank, and awesome. I don't, like, partying was just never a thing for me. So, but like, people that newly meet me, you know, usually it's like the football guy who's on the team. So like, clearly he's going to the parties and he's drinking and he's like doing all this like cool guy stuff. And then they meet me and you're like, oh, you're actually pretty weird. Like, no, it's just changed the ball game. There's just no loyalty anymore. You used to be a coach, and you used to go recruit a kid, and you used to sell on the tradition of the school. Here's the education system. You're going to have a chance to play for, you know, a Big Ten championship or national title, and then I'm going to help you become a better man and go off into the world. Like, that was the recruiting pitch. Did you like the head coach? Now, hey man, I got $1 million for you.
And take this burden from me.
Welcome to the Barn Again podcast. My name is Jonathan.
And I'm Mike.
And today we want to share the extraordinary story of an ordinary person. You might have seen him before on TV. Mike will get into that a little bit, but we see him at church. And so we want to introduce you to Josh. Mike, tell us who Josh is, would you?
Yeah, so I thought you were talking about me for a second. But then I was like, yeah, I'm really not on TV. So this is Josh Banderas, a good friend of ours, lives down the street. And yeah, just a great guy. You're involved with woodworking stuff. I mean, you guys you started up this wedding venue. What you're probably most known for right now in the sports world is being a Husker and Blackshirt, right? So I know you said that your last year was 2016. That was your final year as a Husker. So we'll kind of get more into that story too. But we're super excited to have you here, man. Yeah, this is just a real honor for us to have you.
Well, I appreciate you having me on. You know, it's
I
don't know, it's just nice to talk with.
Yeah.
You don't get to talk all the time just about normal things.
To the common
like,
people.
Well,
I'm just kidding, man.
Well, it's like normally you're talking like I do like a post-game radio for like Big Red Reaction after a game, and it's like there's just like one, you know, like you got one topic, and it's you always got to be like, I would say it's like pro Big Red. Like, so even if I got like opinions sometimes that are like, nah, like that guy is just sucks or what, you know, whatever. Like you can't really say that because you're part of the program.
You gotta stick to the script.
Yeah, like everything's got to be pointed in the same direction. So I don't know. It's kind of nice to do, like talk to you guys, and you know, we don't even know where it's gonna go. Like most times, I know exactly where it's gonna go.
Yeah, we like to keep you gussing.
Yeah, throw some curveballs.
Keep me on my toes. Yeah.
Can you hit a curveball? I mean,
no, baseball.
Did you play baseball?
No. I can't. For what I just mechanically, I don't know what it is. I can't do it. I can't throw very hard. But I also always thought it was boring. I did like a year of T-ball, and then it's like if my kid someday doesn't want to do baseball, I'm not going to be like, give it a shot.
You just wanted to hit somebody. I mean,
yeah.
It's just, well, so like, you know, we know a little bit about your story, but for people that are just starting to kind of tune in, so you and your wife Lydia, you've been married for how long now?
Since October, so not even a year, coming up on a year.
And she and you're Catholic, and so she joined the church here just this last Easter, right? Or when did she?
Yeah, Pentecost. So
Pentecost,
we did a late RCIA. Okay,
she's awesome, and so you guys have well, I'll let you tell more about your family, but you guys are working on a wedding venue. That's kind of big. Your big thrust right now is working on that, and you guys are working a lot. We've been out there. It's beautiful. Have you been out there to see the place?
I haven't.
Okay. You haven't been out yet.
It is like when you think of a wedding venue, like this blows the doors off of any wedding venue I've ever been to. I mean, it's beautiful. And you made this gigantic table. I think you were still kind of sanding it the last time we were there, with a floor sander.
Yeah.
Like this, like gigantic piece of cotton. Was it a cottonwood tree?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just, the venue, the atmosphere is so amazing. So it's out in Palmyra. Yep. Right, so maybe tell us a little bit about what got that started and how that's going.
Oh, I was a football player. Lydia's, my wife's was a dental hygienist, so like now I do weddings. Like what a 180. You know what I mean? Like
crashed a few
like
weddings,
flowers and like table decor and I like all that stuff. Like it's just very different than what I ever thought I was gonna be doing. But I don't know. Like the idea kind of came up. We were out at Oregon. I was coaching at Oregon State with an old coach of mine, and so Lydia came out with me. Like dental hygiene is pretty easy to get jobs. Most places need them, so she was out there working. So it was just us, our cat, and our dog. Like just living in an apartment in Albany, Oregon, and I don't know, man. I loved it. Like I miss coaching every day. Like I'm helping out with high school a little bit, but I was never home. I was gone at 5 in the morning, and I get home at midnight, and so like I could do it. If I was a single dude, like no problem. But she, that's tough to ask your wife to be out there with no family. Like you got no friends at first. Like eventually we'll meet friends, but not really. So like we came back after the season just to visit, and like you could clearly like tell like Lydia's like, this ain't for me. And it seems like an ultimatum, but not really. You know what I mean? She wasn't like it's me or coaching, but like at the end of the day, it was kind of like this isn't the life I want to live. Yeah. And so I just started looking for like what am I gonna do next? So I got a business degree at UNL, but I don't know. I got my insurance license before that. Like I tried it, you just don't have the, you gotta have passion in what you do. So like I can make a sale or I get somebody to sign up, and it's like,
yeah,
cool,
right. Especially, so. I mean, I think you're very creative too, right? With woodworking and things like that.
You just got to be passionate about what you do. Like football, like I could sell a football team all day, like to get you to sign up or get a recruit to commit or like show a linebacker how to do it and like that kind of stuff. But it just wasn't a passion. So I was looking for what I was going to do. And my sister was planning her wedding to get married. And so we were kind of helping her and like figuring out and like asking what the budget was and all this stuff. Cause I knew we were going to get married, down the road, but I looked at what the venue was, what they did and what we were paying them. And I'm like, seems like they're just opening the door and setting up the tables. And that's a lot of money. I'm like, well, I could do that. I could throw a good party. Like I can do that pretty good, I think. And then, so like I remember like on the drive home, I told Lydia like, well, what if we did that? And, basically everybody for the first like 5 or 6 months was like, haha, like your son tells you he's going to be an astronaut when he's 10. You're like, okay, buddy, go for it. Yeah. But then I like kept, like I'd stay up after she went to sleep and just did research and got the Excel spreadsheet out and started putting numbers down. Well, what if we do this many weddings? What if we charge this? Like, what's our overhead? And like the numbers were like, they were working. Wow. Like, this is pretty good. And so then that just kept building, and I kept, you do things, you start looking for a flaw. It's like, how's this going to fail? What could happen that this would fail? And I just, like, I couldn't really find the fail point in it. And so then I brought it to other people and just kind of kept building on it. And so 2 years after that idea, we're up and running.
I think one of the components of that, and with a business degree, you probably understand it too, is like you guys put in so much work. I mean, there was a lot of I mean, you're out there all the time. I mean, and you're a hard worker, so you're able to get things done, and you were able to make tables and stuff like that. So it's like there's that component that really made it successful, is you were willing to put in some time. And
it was a team effort, man. My whole family, like Lydia's family pitched in. It really. I don't know how you could. There's no way I could have done it by myself. There's just no way. Like money aside, like the money we saved from like doing things and whatever, but just the countless hours and showing up after work and like family coming and doing extra hands and trimming trees and just everything, going to meetings, bouncing ideas off each other. Like, it's a community effort. There's no other way to do it.
It can be easy for people to show up to a venue and see you in a suit and be like, oh, he's got this cush, going on, but like they don't see you in your sweats, at 3 a.m.
Well, and so that's like one of the. It's like we've had some people come. I guess just like we had a mentor in Kansas City. So like literally one of the first things I did was YouTube how to start a wedding venue. Like, why not? You know what I mean? See what pops up. Like anything, like starting woodworking, like how to make a board straight, how to plant, like all that kind of stuff. So this dude named Blake Harris, he had like a 5-part series, or maybe 3-part at the time, on how he started his wedding venue. No experience. He worked at Zoom, and just wanted to kind of do what I did. So I followed his steps and I reached out to him. It's like, hey, what's up? This is kind of what I want to do. And I mean, he was a big part of this thing getting going.
Huh.
Because he hit me back and he's like, yeah, man, like, come down, like, I'll meet with you, like, I'll show you everything I got, and you can work a wedding and see if you like it. And
Dang.
oh, he gave us everything. He gave us all of his financials, all of his business plans, like literally anything you could ever ask for.
Wow.
Just the most transparent dude ever. And so that was enormous. And now we've got some people that kind of through him, but they want to start their wedding venue or they want to do something similar. So I'm like, somebody was that way with me, so I better be that way with them.
That's awesome, man.
But then, I got some other like friends and stuff. They're like, oh, well, don't give away like the secrets, like, especially if they're local, because it's like when it's competition. But like, I feel like I'm like me and my wife, like we're in my family, like we're the secret sauce. Like somebody could copy my exact building and everything, but like it's the way we do business and the way we run it. Like that to me is the secret sauce.
That's what I love about entrepreneurs, because like you could say McDonald's saying like, well, we don't want Burger King to be in business, but like they help each other. So even having healthy competition is good because it creates more buzz around it. So I and you're right, like you're the secret sauce, because I've had that with my own business, a car dealership. Like I've sat with other car dealers and I said, here's exactly what I'm doing. Here's my financials. And then most of them, they don't do it. Like you give them the
you can't take a horse to water.
They got a roadmap, but they got to have the passion, and you had the passion. You have the passion.
Yeah, and my dad always said too. He's like, because he's been an insurance agent for 32 years with Farm Bureau. He's like, I don't care if State Farm open up across the street from me. Like I've got confident in my business. I know what I'm doing, and I think I'm pretty good at it. So I think I can be just fine. Let alone that there's enough to go around. How many people? It's a smallish town in Lincoln, but it's a lot of people here.
Yeah. And how many people? We were talking offline. Like, how many people have you served? Like, have gone through the doors there?
Yeah, we say we'll say average weddings like 200 people, and we've done like 56 events, so it's somewhere around like 11,000 people
since October.
Every weekend, just rolling through.
And you're booked way out. I mean.
Yeah, well, and just imagine like the people I get to meet from David City, or like some people that fly in from Florida, and you just get to talk. When else would I meet them?
Yeah, right.
And I get to talk to them on usually the happiest day. Yeah. No one's in a bad mood. Everybody's having fun. They're drinking. It's a good time. And so they're just curious. So like it's awesome to just meet people and get some like no crazy stories yet. Like no one's gotten in a fight. I haven't had to kick anybody out.
You'll get there.
Yeah. So
you're kind of a presence, like I would think.
Yeah, well, you kind of like you don't want it to happen, but kinda.
Yeah.
One time.
Josh he's a big dude, in case you haven't ever seen him in person. But you mentioned your dad too. Did your dad play football at Nebraska?
Yeah, he was in the 80s. He was in the 83 to 86.
Okay. What position?
He was a tight end.
Okay.
So he was like a redshirt freshman. That Miami game we went for 2, and we ended blue. So he was on the sideline then. It's like he came in and he's like, I'm gonna get a ring. Like first year freshman, like gonna get it, and then the whole thing happened. But no, so then he came up from Oak Grove, and he met my mom and never left.
Okay.
So speaking of your dad, I want to hear a little bit about your backstory, because it's funny. I told a couple of my sons we were going to interview you, and I'm like, you guys remember Josh Banderas? Because we went to church in Denton when you guys did.
Yeah.
And the one of them goes, yeah, I couldn't see around that guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you and your dad sitting next to each other, like you couldn't see.
Yeah, don't sit behind us. We try to sit in the back, but if we show up late, yeah.
So you were born and raised here in Lincoln.
Yeah.
So what's your tell me a little bit about your story, like where you went to school, how many siblings, like give me your backstory.
Yeah, we grew up, I was probably born on the north side of town, like went to Cahill for a little bit, and then we moved in second grade out to like near Denton area. And that was like a whole change up. Like when kids move, like your whole world's destroyed. And I got no friends. You're ripping me away from it. But then just started growing up over there, and got a little brother and an older sister. So my older sister's she's been like secret role model kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I won't even tell her about the podcast, so she like knows I say that.
How much older is she than you?
She's about a year and a half, and then my brother's 5 years younger.
Okay.
5 years younger than me. But I don't know, we were always kind of in sports, My little brother was, age difference is tough, I'm 5 years older, he's just a little kid. Like, I'm sure he wanted to hang out with the older guys, but it was just like we did our own thing and everything like that. But we were always in sports, always doing stuff. But I never really was that good at sports until, I don't know, like 5th grade football, like kind of started like a little bit. and then it was just kind of like average until like junior year in high school, I would say. I could always do stuff, but like basketball, I just never had I was never confident in what I was doing. I didn't want to shoot because I didn't want to miss. I didn't want to let my teammates down. Like track was a good thing to me because I didn't have any teams. It was just me, So like, there's nobody to let down. If that makes any sense.
Just accountable for yourself.
Yeah, I'm just accountable for myself, and so I was a big track guy. Like we'd go every summer. Like we'd travel around the state, and then we'd go to like Junior Olympics wherever it was. And I was a hurdler, and way back then I was still like fast enough without the hurdles, so I was doing like the 100 and 200 and that kind of stuff. But that was like exposure to national, like what else is out there, because usually I'm running around like little white kids in Nebraska, and then we go down to like the national event, and I'm the only white kid in like the heat, and it's like, oh, this is different. So at first it's like intimidating because it's things you've just never seen, and then just so it was really good to like get exposed to different things like that.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you grow like with your dad being on the team in the 80s? Did he have a connection with the university? Like, were you down there as a kid at all? Like did you get out?
No, it's kind of the same thing for me in the way I think I'll be with like my kids someday. It's just like I never grew up around any of that. We'd watch Husker games, sort of. I think I never really remember specific moments where I'm like huge Husker fan all the time.
Okay.
Like my best friend's mom worked for him, so I'd go with him. Like that's kind of the first Husker game I remember, but I don't know. And I understand it now. When I was a kid, I'm like, then when I started getting into it, I'm like, oh, like why don't we do more of this? But now that I've like played and like I've seen how the hot dog's made, it's like, like I've been down there, seen the stadium. Like I was one of those guys, so those guys aren't like as cool, anymore because there's no mystery.
Mystical.
Yeah, it's not mystical. So, like I still enjoy watching it, and I watch them every game, and I still do some post game radio and stuff. But it's not like I'm not like super obsessed with it and all in. Yeah, which some people think's weird, but I don't know. You've been there, I've seen it.
And so, like growing up playing football, then you had an opportunity to play in high school. So, where did you go to high school at?
Went to Southwest.
Okay.
Mark King was my head coach, and then he left a couple years after me. But he said it was a big high school, man. We had 500 kids in a class, and you're just kind of swimming. Freshman ball was like probably the most fun. You're just with your boys, You're just with the dudes that, some of them you grew up with, you just met. You're all the same age. There's no like top dog, big dog, nothing. Like it's just the freshmen.
Yeah.
And then you're just opened up to so much in high school. Like looking back as like a parent, maybe going to be a parent, like that's just scary. Like you're throwing them into the big pond, and they got to sink or swim, see what they do. You can't, there's no like. My dad always said, he's like, I coach you midget football and all this stuff, but once you get to high school, like I'm out. You're on your own.
Yeah.
You're with those coaches.
Yeah.
So it's a big change.
Did you have a desire to play a certain position as you were coming up? I mean, you love football, right? At that point, you're loving it. Did you want to be running the ball, or?
Yeah, I always wanted to be kind of central to it. Whether it's a running back or a receiver. Like I always wanted to be able to affect the game somehow. I always thought if I was just, especially young football, like receivers don't. You just don't have anybody to throw it to you. That's kind of the main thing with receivers. And then like O-line, I'm like, well, I never get to score a touchdown or do anything, But I never had that confidence to like be the quarterback and like take over and put the team on it that way. When I was a running back, I could. I'm like, just give me the ball and make it happen. But I just could never do any of that quarterback stuff.
We were talking before. So my son attended the Dylan Raiola camp, and he's a big dude. Like I was pretty surprised about how big of a quarterback. I mean, they probably are pretty darn big guys, like the quarterbacks, to be able to see over the line and everything. But he was able to attend that camp, and it was pretty. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's and plus all the hype around him too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's been talked about for such a long time. Yeah. Coming here and getting in, and he's the big 5-star kid, and so I hope he pans out. Yeah. He did kind of what I expect him to last year, but I hope he just continues to grow better and get back to the community too, like that. Like do some of those things.
Yeah.
Like before, I get it, not as much because like college kids were like, even if you're on the team, we didn't make any money. Like we got enough money to like pay our rent and pay like our like to survive, but then now they're getting this NIL like. You better start acting more like an NFL guy and like hosting a camp or like doing things or which I think he is. So far it's been
when
good.
did NIL enter the equation? Was that just a few years ago?
A couple years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And has that like totally changed
It's
layout?
not even. Yeah, it's not even close to the same.
I don't follow college sports that much, especially football. I mean, I watch the Husker games. That's kind of the extent of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But like I'm hearing that these quarterbacks are making millions.
Yeah.
I mean, and Rayola's what, 19?
Yeah.
Like,
how wild is that? Imagine that when you were 19.
Yeah, like
imagine the motorcycle you would have gotten. You know,
Right.
It would have been a really fast one.
I don't know. Like, what's the incentive to, guys? I remember back when I was in college. I was in the late '90s. Like, guys were leaving to go to the NFL because that's where you made the money. But now you're making $2, $4, $5 million a year.
Sure.
Being a college student, like, I don't know, it's pretty good.
Well, even
gig.
high school, right? I mean, they
got agents now, and they're starting to get agents in high school.
Yeah.
You can't get NIL money in high school, can you?
Oh, they can sure give you.
Well,
some.
like,
There's no rules against it.
Like LeBron's son,
Yeah.
right? Wasn't he making money in high school? I
Yeah.
think? Like he was making some, LeBron James's son.
Well, I
Yeah.
think he went to like a special high school too,
Okay.
or something like that. I'm not for sure on that, but no, it's just changed the ball game. There's just no loyalty anymore. You used to be a coach and you used to go recruit a kid and you used to sell on the tradition of the school. Here's the education system. You're going to have a chance to play for, a Big Ten championship or national title, and then I'm going to help you become a better man and go off into the world. Like that was the recruiting pitch. Did you like the head coach? Now, hey man, I got $1 million for you. And then they're gonna go into the next school and say, well, they offered me $1 million. What do you got? So it's just a bidding war now.
Do you think it lost that relationship between the coach and the player of like trying to build men? Like, has that just kind of
For sure
faded from the equation?
Because you used to, I don't know, I think how do you adversity, and then you build from it, and then you got to go through adversity, and then you build, and then I just feel like that's how you're supposed to grow as a human.
Yeah.
Just like anything, it just you build it back better. But any adversity, I'm out of here. I got an offer to go play somewhere else. Yeah. I'm not playing. Maybe I gotta go back and work harder and try and win my spot, or coach isn't feeling it, and I can go make $500,000 at Mizzou. They need a quarterback, I'll go.
It's just a job.
Yeah, it's just where can I get the money? And at this point, you almost got to get it. I mean $1 million
If you're a player, you
when
mean?
you're if you're $1 million, maybe I wanted to if it was here when I was here, and for whatever reason somebody thought I was good enough to offer me $600,000 at Iowa or K-State or something, and Nebraska said we just can't give you any money.
Yeah, we'll give you a scholarship.
That's life-changing money,
Yeah.
you get
Especially
600
if you get hurt or something down the road.
If you get
right?
hurt,
Yeah.
and especially if you can if you can, you got good parents or somebody behind you that can manage it correctly.
Yeah.
That's life-changing. I mean, what a head start. It's at some point I understand the loyalty, but on the other aspect of it, it's you have to.
So they're kind of forced to play the new game.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, there's no reason not to. I mean, if it's out there.
It seems to me, I don't know a lot about the whole thing, but it seems like it's really unfortunate because it's all about money now. It's not really necessarily about maybe you do have a passion to play the game, but then you're geared towards where am I going to get paid, and it just kind of changes the whole mentality of everything. I don't know what the majority of past players and everybody where everybody's at, but I just think it is. I don't know. It's unfortunate, I think. But.
Oh, we all hate it. All
is
the
that
old
right?
players, we hate it. It was because we missed it.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I if you're in it, you love it.
I mean,
but
if your son
before
was
it's
playing or
oh,
something,
come.
though.
Well, then the guys that Amir Abdullah or Taylor Martinez or Kenny Bell, or then you keep going back Eric Crouch won the Heisman. They're well, how much money would I have made?
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And you keep going back. They didn't make. They could sell their game tickets and get a little bit of extra pocket change, but they weren't making nothing.
So the other day I was at the gym and there was a flag football tournament on TV down in Florida or somewhere on the East Coast, and I'm watching it, and I can see that trickle down effect. That I don't know that it changes fundamentally the sport. That you're out these kids are doing one hand grabs in the end zone because they want to be a highlight reel,
Right?
Because it means money. It's no longer about the love of the game and the passion for it. I think it's trickled down to say, even as you in 5th grade or 8th grade or whatever, you're I think it shifts from I want to be a better man, I want to do something to achieve something, to how can I get glory, how can I get fame and money.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
That's different.
That's with I think that's with all sports. Everything's been so commercialized and social media and stuff. So I've seen this trend. Most parents now think that they can train their kid to be like the D1 athlete or like to go, and it's like back then, like you either had it or you didn't, you know what I mean? But now, like, I want my kid to be an MLB player, so from, you know, when they start playing, we're going to get in, like, trying to get in the best club. We're going to play 80 games a year, and then the off season, like, I'm going to put them into, like, winter baseball training, and, like, it's just becoming
sort of exploding, like this whole, like, sub-college level.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's not, well, like you go back to originally what sports are, and it's like your local friends, like you're the team that were like, you all live in this neighborhood, like you're going to play that neighborhood, and it's just going to be fun with your boys. But now there's all these club tryouts, and they're like, you're playing with kids from everywhere, which is good to get. But I don't know, like that's why high schools even get, like, high schoolers are recruiting now. They're picking the school that they want to go to, especially in Omaha.
Oh yeah, so we had Taylor Ashburn on, and what's the name of the league? Do you remember the name?
It's the Bolts, the junior Bolts.
Yeah, so Taylor started this league where all the Catholic schools, but his sounds more that like community based, like they're just trying to bring these kids who are going to go to high school together.
Well, so we're the feeder schools and stuff. Like that's what it's supposed to be. These are the kids that I'm gonna go like finish life with. But I got one of my old coaches. He coached at an Omaha school, and he's like, I literally walk out the front doors of the school, and I watch these kids walk out of their house across the street from the school, get on the bus, and they go 25 minutes to another school.
Oh, man. Okay.
And they're good athletes. And he's like, well, come on.
Yeah.
You're across the street. Wow. But because, like, everybody's trying to be the best at it, it's like, no, like, you should want to make, like, there's no pride, you know, like, I went to Southwest. Like, I want the Silverhawks to be good. Like, I grew up with Silverhawks, and then I go. But now, you know, who knows about it, like, grown up and been like, well, Southeast is the better football school, so I'm going to Southeast.
Yeah, you can almost chart what does my future look like, and then what path, like, what do I need to go next?
Yeah, everyone's trying to manipulate the future and how things are going, and it's like, that's just not how it was supposed to be.
You got it?
Yeah, you keep rolling.
I might have you, Josh. I might have you scoot over a little bit. I feel like you might be on the shoulder right there.
I got that too.
I don't know. It just drives me nuts. Like, all these parents are just trying to, like, force it down their kids. And half the kids that come to, like, training and stuff, they're like, they don't even want to be there.
The kids don't?
No, they just go because their parents make them go. Like the kid that went to summer camp and didn't want to be at summer camp. Like, he's there, and the camp counselor's like, clearly you're not happy here.
Right.
Like, you're just not. So sports are supposed to be elective. Like either the kid likes it or he doesn't. If he doesn't like it, like, I get trying to, like give it a real shot, Johnny. Like, get in there and give it a shot. But not, like, we're gonna keep them in it. They just don't love it, and they're not gonna just gonna be for it.
So what was it like for you going to Southwest? Like, had you played football before you got to high school? Then it sounds like.
Yeah, Lincoln midget football. It's Lincoln youth football now.
Yeah.
And were you good at that point, or did you like come into your frame and your gift in high school?
I think I was like upper tier. It's like my first year ever playing. I probably should have been in, like, because I was a rookie, and I probably should have been in D. Like, it was I was probably one of the better players in rookie.
What grade would that rookie be?
Fifth grade.
Fifth grade. Okay. Not tackle. That's tackle.
Fifth grade was the first year tackle, and then, like, I was pretty, like, I played up the next year, and then the next year, and then, like, and I was okay. So, like, pretty much from, like, sixth grade through, like, sophomore year, I was one of the better kids on the team, but, like, looking back, like, probably pretty underperforming for whatever reason. But still, like, you know, people were like, oh, you know, he's pretty good at football. But then junior year, like, something clicked, and that, like, that's when it, like, I was really, like, understood what I was doing and, like, playing football.
Okay. And were you playing defense at that point, or what?
Yeah, I was playing offense too, but, you know, I was a junior, and we had some good seniors above me, so, like, I was more used as, like, a blocker than anything on offense. And then senior year, I was the running back and linebacker, so. But by that time,
you were running back in high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that was fun.
That's great.
I wouldn't have wanted to in college, though.
Okay.
You get beat up.
Because guys like you were hitting them.
Yeah.
So,
man.
I mean, well.
Every play.
we were talking before we started the interview that I was kind of looking at some clips of you beforehand, and there's a clip from some news station, and you're a high school kid, and you had signed with Nebraska, so you've got this the camera crews are filming you. You did an amazing job as a high school kid with an interview. I was really impressed with just how mature you were. And you're like, if you don't know Josh, he's a very humble guy. Like he is, he says hello to everybody. I mean, we see him at church, and you're just a very gentle giant of a person, But no, I think you did a great job. And so maybe would you talk about, like, we kind of talked a little bit, but what was that like as a senior in high school, knowing you're going to Nebraska, you're playing football? Like, are you starting to get into some like tricky situations where I can imagine there might be temptations. There was like different things that would weigh on you as like, hey, this kid has got everything going for him. I don't know if you wanted to talk about that at all, but I was impressed with your.
Yeah, no, I'm a pretty weird guy. Like when you get to know me, like so normally, as like most people that meet me, so I've never done any drugs, and I've never drank, and awesome. I don't like partying was just never a thing for me. So, but like people that newly meet me. Usually it's like the football guy who's on the team, so like clearly he's going to the parties and he's drinking and he's like doing all this like cool guy stuff, and then they meet me and they're like, oh, you're actually pretty weird. Like I don't mind watching like cartoons and anime, and like I make goofy jokes, and like it's not what you would think from the outside. So I never really thought any different of myself. It's like even my buddies that were like maybe they were smaller and they're like not as good as football. I'm like, well, I'm like the same as like we're all just the same. So I don't know. That's just kind of how I've always been. Like I've never looked at myself as like, oh, like better than you at football, and like I'm going to Nebraska and all this stuff. It was just like, nope, just normal.
Yeah. But at the same time, you could acknowledge that you were really good at football. I mean, like, you were being recruited and going to UNL, and like you knew you were good.
Yeah. But it didn't affect like my outside. Like on the field, like if we're gonna go 1-on-1 or something, like no, if we're arguing, like Alex, I'm clearly better than you at this. Like you can tell you all you want, but yeah, off the field, no, like we're all the same, and that's what I loved about like high school's the best time ever. It's you and your friends all day, every day. Like school, what's high school like? School's like it's not a joke. Like it's good. And you learn a lot of stuff, but then like you get like out of high school and you're like, come on, like that was easy. Yeah. And we sat in a classroom with 30 of your friends, and you get to go like those no bills, like probably not doing laundry. You're not even like you don't even have to cook. Like those were the days hanging out with your boys. Because now, like I'm 30 and I see them every once in a while, which is fine. Like you start your family and like I'm married and like we start that, but you still miss the locker room days where it's like. Just being goofy with the boys, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So, did you were you recruited at other schools, or was UNL just your solid choice for you?
I wasn't going anywhere. I had other offers and stuff, and like from around the country, and like I went to a couple visits, unofficial visits. Like we drove down there and went to it, and I asked Bo Pelini at the time. I was like, look, man, I'm coming here. I'm not. I was the first commit that like went in our class. There was another kid that committed before me, but he went to Kentucky, and I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. Let me take, because you gotta have 5 official visits, and so like they fly you and your family in, and like they put you up in the hotel, and they give you, you get gift bags, and they just give you the whole treatment because they want you to come there. Yeah. And then you get to go to like a big game. Usually they bring the big recruits to the big game. Like, let me go
on
take
the field then too. Like you're walking out there with the team.
Usually you're on the side, like you're just on the sideline, and then they like put you up in the stands, so you're not standing during the game. But they just give you the whole treatment, and then afterwards, usually you get to go out with the team. So they give you like one of the players on the team. They're like you're hosting him, so like you take the recruit around, show him the town, like bring him like to the party at the guy's house and hang out with the guys and just show him what it's like to be here. And I'm like, well, let me take those trips. Like, they're free and I want to do it. And
he's okay with it?
He's like, no.
Oh, really?
Because it looks bad. Oh. It looks like, like your first recruit, like your main recruit's kind of like flirting around looking for. So on the outside, if you didn't know me that I'm like always going there, it looks bad. So like I get it, but I wish I would have taken some visits.
How does that work? Like you're saying like you were their first main recruit?
Yeah, well, I was like the first commit in the class, so like
Awesome.
obviously like, they're recruiting, but someone's got to go first, and so like
awesome.
as soon as they offered it, like I gave it like a week or two or whatever I gave it and committed. So I was like technically the number one or like the first guy to commit in the class of 2013.
How many guys from Nebraska get a chance to play on the team? Like
play or on the team?
Well, to be on the Huskers, like if you wanted to play it, I mean, a lot of guys, I think kids growing up in Nebraska, especially, Nebraska's got such an amazing fan base and they love their team. Like I think a lot of guys want to play at Nebraska. So how often does that happen where like when you look at a class, if you're a freshman, sophomore, whatever, like how many of those guys that are on the team are actually from Nebraska? Is it
There's a lot. The team's
high percentage?
Yeah, the team is, well, at least it used to be. So now like the walk-on program is pretty much gone because of like the way things are going, and like NIL is like a thing now, and they can pay everybody. So the walk-ons used to be like pay your own way. Like you're good enough, but you're not good enough for us to like give you the scholarship, but we'll still take you if you pay for your own school. So that's gone now.
They don't have that opportunity anymore?
No, like basically everybody's on like scholarship now,
and that's
which is terrible because
that's every school then.
Because Nebraska created the walk-on program because we had all these kids from Grand Island and Western Nebraska, and like that would just come like they'd come in as these skinny little kids, farm kids, and then they'd get in the program and they'd lift weights and eat and practice for like 3 or 4 years, and then they're like last year or two they were big and burly and awesome, and they there was like true passion for the team. Like you're getting kicked in for like 3 years by all these big dudes that are coming in from Florida or Texas or wherever, and you're still going to come back. Like you love the team.
Wow.
And so some of those, like their last couple of years, they would always play. So like that's kind of gone now, which stinks because a lot of our in-state talent that like is right there. Now they got to go to like South Dakota or South Dakota State or Iowa Western. And then they can transfer back in, but I don't know. It's lost
because they're not taking them in and forming them for the next to be that next.
Yeah, well now it like can you play now?
Yeah,
like the development part is gone. Like you used to get a kid in, and so Spencer Long's like the prime example. He came in as this just skinny little peckerwood from Elkhorn, and like 2-3 years he went from this to this monster All-American like offensive guard. And played for 2 years. I said he was All-American, and then he went and played like 5 or 6 years in the NFL. But nowadays, he wouldn't have been on Nebraska. He would have had to go somewhere else, and who knows if he comes back. And it's just not a story anymore. Just sad.
So what was your faith like in high school as you're making these decisions and getting into college? Like, were you still pretty grounded in your faith, or where were you at with that?
I didn't really hit, like we always went to church. We'd go through spurts. Like when we were a kid, like we'd be like really good at church for a year or 2 or 8 months, and then we'd just fall out of habit, and we had basketball or blah 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 and like all these things to do, and then we get back in and. So, faith and that stuff, like I said, my prayers at night and like that kind of thing, but everything was like going through the motions. I remember even asking Monsignor Pleskotch. You remember him? He was at St. Joseph's. So I remember like, because I went to CCD at St. Joseph's, and I like that was one of my first confessions. I was like, I'm here, but I don't want to be. Like I'm at church, but I really don't want to be. So that's like how I was. I'm like, I'm going, I guess.
That's a good that's a good honest confession.
That's good self-awareness.
Yeah, you're a kid once. He's like, I don't want to be here, and he's like, his response was, you're here, you're like putting the time in, like you should try and listen and learn something, but he's like, ultimately, like you're here, so like that's a big first step. And I was like, yeah, okay, so at least I'm doing something.
I used to see, eventually it was Monsignor Pleskotch.
Yeah.
I always viewed him as like Yoda. He was like,
he was the old
wise
guy,
dude. If he talked backwards, I would have swore he was Yoda, man.
Yeah. When you're a kid, the old priests and stuff, like they're scary. Like you're the old guy. Grandpas are scary when you're a kid, kind of thing, And so, I don't know. That was good. But then, it was like some holiday or something, and like my grandpa was a big church guy. He was a big Mary guy. But like he was all about it. And so everybody was up, and I had like overslept. Like all the kids and the cousins are in the house, so like the parents didn't wake us up. They're like, we'll go to church if somebody's up, they can come with, but whatever. And like I woke up and they were already gone, and I was like, I knew my grandpa like was a big church guy, so I was like, did they leave? And like, yeah, they left. So like I was old enough. I was like 15 or 16. So I like got up and I like went and I like came into church a little late and like my grandpa was like, Grandpa, proud of you.
Oh, good.
And so then, so like that was like my flip there was
man.
because of him.
Wow.
And so then I started really like getting into it, and then like hadn't missed in a long time. Like I would never miss. I still didn't understand the full. Like I'm still growing in it. Like I'm sure like we all are. Like we're still growing and learning. But I at least knew like no like. Whether I was doing it for my grandpa or I was doing it for God, like I was like I don't miss church. Like we go to church. So all through college, like I'd be home on Sundays. We go to church on Sundays. Yeah. So that's when it really flipped was like freshman, sophomore year.
That's really powerful. That like, I mean, he probably didn't know the effect that
No
had on
idea.
you.
Yeah.
You know, it was just kind of a side comment of
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm glad you showed up. But the influence of somebody that you admired, they just kind of went out of their way to like, I mean, he's your grandpa, you know, but
Sure.
But that's really that's huge.
Yeah, it was a big thing. All because I slept in, and that was like a very formative moment for me. And then he said, almost maybe like a couple of years ago, I really kind of started to understand like more like why we're going, and like I like started talking, we just started talking more for everyday things. Yeah. Like attributing it to Jesus and to God, and like asking him to help me with things, and like everybody, I feel like everybody's like this with it, and you fall away and you get back. But that was like the key moment.
Was it hard to keep that in college, like that faith? I mean, with you guys are traveling a lot, number one.
Yeah.
I mean, you're, in homework and football practice. Is it hard to like, in that environment, is it hard to like go to church? And
church was easy because we always played on Saturdays. So like the worst case would we got home, you'd get home late from a road game or something, but you still wake up and go, you got to go to church or whatever. And we didn't have anything start until like noon. So like there was plenty of time to keep at least the aspect of being physically present in church. Yeah. But it still wasn't to that point of like everything I did was like, I can remember a time after college when, I'd gotten hurt. I'd been hurt a bunch, and I was trying to get through this like AAF league that was kind of a spring league, USFL kind of deal. And like the last play of the last game of the season, like I dislocated my shoulder. So like I had no chance to go like try out for an NFL team, like this whole thing. Now I'm going to have to like go through rehab. And like once you get out of college, like the clock starts. NFL, the older you get and like the less you've played, like you got no shot. But I remember like looking up and I was like, I trust you. Like I was super bummed, super sad. But I'm like, whatever, like you're playing. Like I trust you. Wow. It's like that, like those kind of moments started being like, I don't know what's going on, but you got me. So not happy about it, but I trust you.
Wow. That's cool being open to it, though, because I could see you could be laying there on the ground with a dislocated shoulder just cursing God. Like, why'd you let this happen? Or, you screwing up my plans or whatever.
Yeah, there's always questions. Because I like college, I made it through. I was pretty, like, not injured. But then, like, as soon as college got done, my body just started kind of quitting on me. Like, I tore my calf. I tore something on my wrist. Dislocated my shoulder, hamstrings, groins. Like, I just couldn't. Like, I was just... body just wasn't holding up, so I just was just a little bit more injury prone. And every time, like, why? Okay, I get it. Like, why? Okay, all right, I got it. Like, it's fine.
So after college, you played a little bit in some leagues, but didn't go full pro.
So like before my pro day, I tore my calf and I tore something in my wrist, so I didn't have a pro day. So I got lucky to get picked up by the Broncos. So I gimped through a summer with the Broncos on a bad calf, and then like tried to refix it, but ended up. Like before I went back for camp, I tried to rehab it and get it better, and I ended up like making it worse. And so got cut from there. Took me way too long to heal up. I don't know what was going on. By that time, my agent kind of quit on me, and so like kind of got another one. Got signed in like with this Alliance of American Football. So I played out in Utah with like Kenny Bell and Terrell Newby and DeMornay and some other buddies. Made it through 8 games, and that went bankrupt. And so we're like, that's when I tore my shoulder, and then finally got that better. Got my new agent. Got signed up in Canada. Then COVID hit, so Canada shut down.
Oh man!
Wow.
So like
you're just watching your dream. Just
time's ticking, and I'm like, well, like I can't even go play. Like I can't play. Like Canada shut down, and so but then ended up going to play down. Basically, it was like a pay-to-play league, kind of. It was like it's called the Spring League. So I just went down there and and played, and then just groin kept getting nicked, and so that didn't come up for anything. And then the USFL came about, got on the team, played maybe like half the games there, but I kept getting a groin here, a groin there, and so like the first couple games of the season, like I was one of that, like I had really high like playing grades and this and that, but I just could never stay healthy. So and the NFL teams like, you know. So then, but then the coaching was kind of in between that, but at the same time, if I would have torn my shoulder and been like, why? And God would have said, well, you're going to own a wedding venue someday, I'd have been like,
oh, you got the wrong guy.
Fix the shoulder. Like, let's go back out. Yeah. So, I mean, I think it works.
But then you kind of start thinking through like, boy, do I take a really hard head injury, somewhere down the line where maybe God was kind of protecting you. You got a family coming along. So you never really know what his plan is. But boy, I mean, I can imagine that was really, really hard. And if we could go back to just college for a minute, when you got to Nebraska, like every kid in the state of Nebraska, every boy would love to run through the tunnel as a football player. Like, what was that like? Like, what was it like to be in the locker room, your first game suited up, like you get to go hit the horseshoe was that as amazing as you expected it to be?
I think so. It's kind of like I remember it, but I don't remember nothing was just like mind blowing. I guess I don't know. It was, but because I always came out last out of the locker room. That was something my dad did. It was something me. I wasn't the like rush through in the beginning. Like I always call it showboating with the flag or like jumping and getting the crowd. Like I'm always gonna be last out of the locker room, and I'm gonna like nicely jog out of the tunnel. But I remember the first time like come around the bend and like the sun kind of hits you and like it's a full stadium.
It's pretty loud.
It's game day. Like it's good to go. Not as loud as you think.
Really?
Yeah, it's not. Like when you're in there, when you're playing, you just kind of focus. Like I don't know, just kind of everything gets narrow. Like you kind of focus in. The rest of the noise just kind of.
Man, it is not that way in the stands.
It's
so
it's deafening.
It's loud, and there's times like I would always tell young players, I'm like, at some point in the game, take a second, like get out of football and like look around, like enjoy it, like look around, because otherwise like you got a job to do, and like you're dialed in on your keys and the things that you need to know. So like, I don't know, it's kind of a weird phenomenon.
Yeah.
Is there a favorite moment of your playing days at Nebraska that you remember that was, a great hit or a great team that you played, or I don't know?
I don't know. We kind of had a lot of like little moments that were fun, like the Northwestern Hail Mary, like that was fun, and beating Michigan State at home, that was just fun. They're just fun times with your guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but the thing I really miss is being in the locker room. Or not in the locker room, like before the game, like the team dinners, and then after, like everybody ate, it's like hanging out there and having some, like, because we always had dessert and cookies and all the stuff we shouldn't have before a game. But like the linebackers would sit around their table, and we just back and forth all the time and stories and laughing or playing cards, or like those are what you miss.
Yeah.
Like the field was amazing, the field was fun, but hanging out with the friends, man.
Huh.
Well, that's like, so the last guy we interviewed, Doug, said something similar with high school. He wasn't in sports, but he was in like musicals and plays and stuff like that. And he said it was just the camaraderie. Like when you leave that, like when you left college and that team of men, like you miss the community.
Sure.
Because you like, I think that's what we're all seeking as adults now, is like, I miss that. Where are my brothers that I can be vulnerable with and honest and just screw around with and have fun?
Yeah.
Like I think we're craving that. We're missing that. We're very isolated in our society.
Well, I just feel like everybody, like I've always thought that there's like an expectation. Like when you're, like grown-ups don't do this thing. Or like you don't do that anymore because you're grown up. And I'm like, at some point it's kind of sad because like at some point a kid's going to play his last game of tag ever. Mm-hmm. Or your last game of dodgeball, or your last game of like 3-on-3 basketball in the neighborhood. And not because, I don't know, it's like I feel like when you're grown up, it's like we just, we just don't do that anymore, let alone like our bodies hurt and stuff like that. But like, it'd be fun to play pool basketball with your friends, but, You know, we're grown ups. We don't really do that anymore.
I still play dodgeball. So
yeah,
my 12-year-old daughter, we go to the Marion Sisters every year, and we play dodgeball. And it's
awesome.
Dads versus daughters.
Yeah.
And we got to use our non-dominant hands, so we all look like monkeys out there.
Yeah.
And then we got to get on our knees for another round, and you got to have your eyes closed. You're just getting pelted with balls, but it's so much fun, man. Just being a kid again.
That's so much fun. I even catch myself getting into it too, like because I'm helping coach at the high school and like doing some dumb game, and I'm like, I would really like to do that, but like I probably should keep my boundary of like feel like I'm not doing that like with you guys, but like it's like I really want to.
At some point though, like because I used to coach a soccer team, and like you can get in and have fun with them if you take it outside of the game. Like maybe it's not football, but like when I played soccer in high school, the coach would have us play ultimate frisbee.
Yeah.
And so we just get out there and like start crushing it with a frisbee, like something fun that you could get. Because I think those kids do want to see you get involved. They don't want to get hit by you. Yeah. But I do think they want to have an experience to be like, dude, Coach Banderas came over and did this thing or whatever. Like, I just think we got to stop thinking we're grown up.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. It's because that's like the community and stuff. Like if you could call your high school friends and be like, hey, let's go. Even if we're going to go, like, we're all going to Johnny's house and we're all going to play, like, the old video game we used to play. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we don't do that anymore.
I went out with some friends last night. It was 4 of us, and we decided, because 2 of them did that, there's a bicycle thing where you bike across the state of Iowa and you stop at all these places. And so one of them pitched the idea. He said, why don't we, the 4 of us, just bike down to Kansas City? Like on a weekend.
Yeah.
We'll do however many, like bike for 6 hours a day and stop at a hotel. And I'm like, yes.
Sure.
My answer's yes.
Sounds amazing, right?
Why not
do
it?
Let's do it.
Like we're all in our 40s
and
we're probably going to get injured on the way, but like, I don't know, let's just do it. I went out to Colorado a couple weeks with my son, 3 of my kids, and he just like kind of spur of the moment. He's like, I'm going to free solo that mountain. And so he took his shoes off and free soloed the mountain barefoot.
Oh, that's terrifying. I can't do that.
Yeah, I
can't do that.
But I hiked up the backside with my little kids, and he just free soloed, and he met some dude on the side of the mountain. I'm like, that's so great. Like we got to not lose that.
It's all just like-minded though. Like when we're on a football team, like we're all going towards one goal. Like we all are kind of similar because we all got to the same point, so we like doing the same thing, so we can all relate. You know, like these high school kids I'm working with every day. Like the way they talk, I'm like, oh, you're in high school, but they're all that. You know, they're all goofy and gross and having that together. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, yeah, you just missed that.
And you're coaching with the Palmyra team, right?
Yeah.
High school team?
Uh-huh.
So you got done with camp today, is that what you said?
Yeah, last day of camp today.
So, great. The guys look good?
Yeah, we're learning. It's good. It's good stuff to learn from.
How many kids are in Palmyra? Just give people an idea. Like
I think it's a town of like 500, something like 500 and change. You know, and they're kind of from surrounding. But a lot of kids, I think, is what I'm learning is like, they go through primary school in Bennett and stuff, and then they go to Lincoln, go to Standing Bear or Pius or somewhere like the closer Lincoln schools. It's like, but that's kind of the same thing. For whatever reason they left, like if it's for sports, maybe, you know, or maybe they just, you know, like the teachings of the school better. But it's like, stay in your community, stay in your town, like you be there and stuff. And who knows, like whenever my kid gets that age, maybe I'll be different. But
you want to talk about what that's like? I mean, you guys are expecting in a month.
Oh yeah.
Right? So Lydia is amazing, and you guys are doing this whole thing together, and with the venue. But now you've got a baby that's you don't know. You're not
no
sure
idea.
No idea.
No idea.
So how is that? How has that been being a dad? Like, you know, I mean, not yet, but
yeah. Basically, yeah.
How's that whole process been?
I've been ready for it for a long time. Like I've always wanted kids and stuff, and I don't know. I've always been, I don't know, maybe it's been like a fear, like Lydia always thinks it's like a fear of mine is like, because like I know people that just don't want kids and I'm like, well, what happens when you die? You're just gone. I go back to like the movie Coco where they got the ofrenda, you know, and they live on and they're passed through the stories that are there. So it's like, that's kind of like it's just, I don't know, felt always sad to me. So I'm like, I want to be able to have kids that can like tell my stories and like be part of me that like can make the world better and have fun. And like I always wanted that Thanksgiving where there's like you got 5 kids and you got all your grandkids and like you can just take a step back and be like, yeah, like this is my family. You know, it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's like beautiful. I'm excited to like get that started and have this little thing like keep growing up and watch it be goofy and get hurt and make mistakes and be like everything. You know what I mean?
What are you nervous for with having kids? Anything that you said like, oh man, I don't know if I'm ready for that?
It's just a big, scary world, man. Like, you want to keep them safe, but you also don't want to smother them. So I feel like that's like the continued balance I'm gonna have to learn is like, you gotta let them do it. But I know they're gonna get hurt, but you gotta let them do it. You know, it's just things like that. Like that, the world's a scary place. Especially if it ends up being a girl. Like then my mind goes everywhere, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to just like put a tracker in her.
Yeah.
You know, and she's gonna have to be trained in martial arts and like know how to hold knives.
Start planning that now, right?
Yeah.
You are so good with kids. I mean, every time we see you, you're always good about asking my kids how they're doing. And, you know, a couple of my boys play football, and you're just good.
I caught him off guard. Did he ever tell you that on the Peace Be With You?
On who, Jude or Nicholas?
Nicholas.
Oh, no.
We were sitting by each other at the pew, and like I'm pretty rough with like Peace Be With You with little boys, and he doesn't know me like that well.
Yeah.
But I did. I like grabbed him, I was like,
Oh,
Peace Be
good.
With You, buddy, and I like ruffled his head and stuff, and I like squeezed him real hard, and he's like,
Oh, good for him.
Then at
It's
the
good
end-
to feel that.
And I think it caught him off guard. And then after church, I'm like, gotta watch out for me, buddy.
You know, that kind of reminds me of a story that I was going to say it at the beginning and I kind of forgot. But I remember the first time that I met you. And like I just want to set the stage, like how it was just this beautiful forest that we were in, beautiful scenery, quiet. And then the next thing you hear is a whizzing sound and a shot to your neck. Do you remember I shot you in the neck? We played
Was that the Oaks? Oh, no, yeah.
Yes.
Well, we went out there with Matt and them because I was getting ready to leave for Alabama. Yeah.
We were playing
That's
paintball.
right, that is. It was
And,
Jude out there.
It was all quiet. We were just.
you
I was
stood
set
his
up.
ground.
I was set up, and I just remember you just going like, ah.
Yeah, I remember you stood your ground.
That was great,
I
man.
was
That was
coming,
my-
I'm
that
like,
was-
no way, you're
yeah.
gonna go down. And
That was one of my big stories. That was my big highlight of my life right there. So
that was the first time. CJ's paintball.
yeah, that was fun, man.
That was a good time. But that's like the camaraderie stuff. Like you go out there with your boys and you go through. That's like always how like you bond football teams. I feel like it's like through summer conditioning and stuff. Like you have to go through something that's very hard together, and now we can all like relate back to that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That like or what I saw like the shorts go like you just start scrolling in your algorithm and whatnot. But it was from The Chosen, and it was little James, and so Jesus was talking to little James, and he was like, well, how great is your story gonna be that I didn't heal you and you're like still able to like
I remember that scene.
keep your faith. And then it's like kind of like that in the book of Job. It's like Christianity is not all cushy and you're supposed to have a good life, and like because it's like Jesus didn't really have a cushy life. Like he's kind of kicked around and beaten, and then he died in a very brutal way.
Yeah.
So it's like we're able to bond through suffering. Like we can relate back to God and Jesus because like he's been there. It's like if you're a person that's never suffered in your life, it's hard for a person that suffered a lot to like relate to each other. Where like you suffered, and obviously Jesus suffered worse than like anything imaginable. It's like we can relate to that. It's like the football team, you go through something extremely hard together, you just bond over it for whatever reason. Like suffering creates that bond.
Yeah, you embrace that suffering, and then you are thankful for it and grateful for it.
Yeah. And you know, then when you're not suffering, like later on, you just for whatever reason, like you're still connected over like, hey, remember that time where they're like, oh, that sucked. Like that was 110-degree days. Like he threw up 3 times. Like now we're fine. Like we made it through it together. Like we did it. That's where you bond.
I liked in The Chosen how there was times where they showed Jesus playing a game of the ball with the guys too. Like it's not just the suffering and the penance and all that, but it was the joy as well. I think that's what you're saying. Like you had both of that. You suffered through stuff and you had some freaking amazing times.
Yeah, and you come together. Like you just come together through it all. Like you go through all these ups, but as long as you're doing it together. You know, as long as you go through the ups and downs together, then you've got all this relatable stories to talk to about. If somebody didn't show up for summer conditioning all year and then comes in and tries to tell you something, it's like, no, you weren't here.
Yeah.
Like if he's like, come on, like, you got this. It's like, no, we got this.
Yeah.
You weren't here.
Yeah.
So like we've seen that before, but that's how like I feel like you really have to bond.
I think that's difficult to foster as an adult now. Like you know, you're an entrepreneur and you've got your wife and you're bonding with her, but like as a man, we still need that camaraderie with other men.
Yeah.
And I think that's what like Mike and I stumbled upon with the coffee group that we're a part of, and even part of this podcast is like we need that as men. We're just not meant to like be on the farm all day, and like I said, you've got your wife there, and that's phenomenal. But like you also need men in your life that are just there to tag you in the shoulder every once in a while, or slap you upside the head if you're doing something stupid, or play a game and be silly too. We need that with each other.
I feel like even like the dialogue though, like the dialogue I can have with you two is different than the dialogue I could have with just two girls. Mm-hmm. I just don't talk the same. Yeah. You shouldn't, and like we just don't have the same stories. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like especially when we were in high school, you can talk about farts and burps with boys, and then you talk about that with the girls, and they're like, ugh.
He's that guy.
Yeah. So it's just it's nice to get out and be able to like talk like a dude.
Yeah.
Talk about dude things, guy things that you just can't talk about with like your wife or any other girl that comes around.
Yeah. Have you made it to coffee? Have you come to coffee yet?
I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't.
You know where it's at.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Can I ask you, so like with Lydia, she came into the church and we kind of mentioned that at the beginning. What was that like? Was she pretty excited? Were you excited? Was that, kind of what you expected?
That's always been like, I've always let it be her journey kind of coming into it. So like when I first started dating her, it was kind of funny because when my girlfriend and I broke up before her, I was like, okay, like I'm not going to date anybody that's like not Catholic, and just like had this list of things. I'm like, shh. And then like I run into Lydia and like we kept talking and started dating, and then I like think back to myself, I'm like, she was like nothing of like on my checklist. She only fit like one of them. Like she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. That was it.
Oh,
and so, but yeah, I always wanted to be her path. Like when we first started talking, she had kind of gotten into like Berean, and so she was like was Christian. It's not like she was an atheist or just totally descended from the church or anything. And then like started coming to church with me and just did it. Like I think it was like me when I first started going to church. She's like, I'm just kind of going for him, and but she paid attention and was able to like learn things, and she could say all the prayers and all like the things that we say, but didn't know why. But then we come here and Father Kilcawley, he's awesome, and so we went through the engaged encounter first, and Kilcawley's got a part in the engaged encounter, and while we were doing it, she goes, that guy is great.
Oh, wow,
awesome. And then
he's amazing.
All this comes around, and like we're moving out to Palmyra. Like I wonder who the pastor is in Palmyra.
Wow.
And boom, it's like wow, like that's kind of special. Yeah. And then we did the delayed RCIA. I was like, who do I have anybody? And so we had a little group of that, and a great group of like people in there. There's only like I think 3 people that weren't Catholic, and everybody else was like. The royal, like everybody else was just good people like within the parish that just would show up. And so, but I let it be her own decision. Like there was no pressure for me. If she had questions, I would answer questions the best I could and say, I don't know if I didn't know. And then ultimately it was like her decision basically like the week of, Father Sean was like, what do you think? She's like, I'm going to do it. So it was really special for me. She didn't want it to be a big moment. So we didn't throw a party. We didn't invite like all the family to like come to the service or anything. It was just like me and her and like our group that we kind of built through RCIA. But I mean, it was a really, really special moment for me. I get to see her go through that journey. And but yeah, she wasn't tall. She wasn't blonde. She didn't do any sports. So I ended up with this short little brown hair girl. But
yeah, I can relate.
It's been awesome, man.
You guys are both so good with kids. It's going to be amazing. You're going to be amazing parents.
She's going to be she'll be like more the authoritarian. Like I said, I'm pretty goofy and laid back until I need to be. Yeah. So she's probably going to be like the standard for discipline in the home until somebody pushes it, and then I'm going to have to
Dad comes
finish it up. Yeah. But yeah, she'll be like the standard because I call her Peanut because she's just she's super small, so Peanut don't mess around.
Do you have names picked out yet?
You don't have to share them. But. No, we've got the girl, and then we had the boy for the longest time, and now we're like, let's just kind of keep finagling around. But it took a while. Like she wanted to figure out the gender right away, and I convinced her to be like, no, like if we have more kids, you can figure out those if you want.
There's only so many good surprises in life.
Yeah. Well, either way, it's a surprise. It's just you have the patience to wait for it, or you want to like just kind of cheat it. But we're not like we didn't have like a pregnancy post like to everybody. We didn't like we don't do all that like putting our stuff out in the world. Really, we do for the business, but that's just because it's got to for the business. But like there were some people that came and they saw her and they're like, "You're pregnant? Like she had a big bump?" And I was like, "Oh, well, yeah." Like we told people when we saw them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, just kind of the old way of doing it.
I had to teach my kids. I've got 7 kids, and I had to teach them. You don't ask a lady if she's pregnant. Yeah, one time they got it wrong.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's
So
tough.
recently, there's a friend that she's like 8 months pregnant, and my daughter's like, I think she might be pregnant. I'm like, no, she's definitely pregnant. She's like, well, I'm not asking her. And so I went over and I said, Gloria thinks she might be pregnant, and she's like, of course I am. And Gloria's like, I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just risky. Just keep waiting. Like the belly of the kid get bigger, or it's gonna stay the same.
Yeah, be like,
Then you'll know.
I'm pregnant as well. Look at me.
Yeah. Ooh, me too. Yeah, that's a risky. That's
So
risky.
You're the first guest we've had on that I Googled. So I Googled.
All right.
And
That's
I was
good
like,
and bad.
what does the internet say about Josh Banderas?
Yeah.
And you got a Wikipedia page, and it shows your height and your weight on there. And I was like, oh man, that sucks to have your height and weight. I mean, not for you,
Yeah.
but like,
For your girls.
yeah,
For sure.
For everybody else, you'd be like, I don't want my height and weight out there.
Yeah. I don't know what did it say.
6'3", 240.
I never hit 6'3" though.
Is that right?
I'm just right under it. I just can't claim it. You know.
Interesting. I guess
I can't claim
I'm like
6 foot either.
I'm like 6'2" and 5'8". Like I could never claim it.
with cleats on.
Funny.
There you go.
nailed it.
There you go.
So you were saying off camera before we started that you don't work out anymore.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Not a long time.
I mean, but
it's
you
probably been like 6 or 7 months of just nothing.
Oh, okay.
Like nothing. But like I see that continuing to go. And the problem with the wedding venue is every weekend there's wedding cake or cookies or ice cream
Oh yeah.
and there's like the dinners it's chicken, beef, green beans, and like potatoes. Like 90% of my weddings are gonna do that. So like that's okay, but there's still like they got popcorn and candy and snacks for the guests, and it's very hard not to dive in, and do that. And then so like I used to be good. I used to be like during the week, no cheat meals, like breakfast, lunch, dinner, no snack, like into bed. But now, and then on the weekends I gotta have a little cheat meal. But now today's my Sunday. Today's Tuesday, so it's a Sunday. Monday's a Saturday, so I'm like, well, this is technically my weekend. So we had like a little cookie and some ice cream last night.
Yeah.
And so like I don't know, like I'm outside doing a lot of work and stuff around the property and like helping coach and stuff, but like I know there's gonna be this transition. Like I've already transitioned from like muscle to fat to like I still weigh the same, but the bars are shifting. Like my body fat is not great, but my weight the same. So everyone's like, "Oh, your weight is fine." I'm like, it's a different weight. It's a different kind of weight.
You look great, man.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if you hadn't said something.
Normally I got a black shirt on in it, so it's slimming. But
Oh yeah, the stripes. You gotta do the stripes, right?
The
I think
stripes.
That's why I do the stripes.
the stripes.
I go different directions.
yeah.
Better on
It's all,
camera.
yeah, it's just like confusing.
Yeah. No.
So you don't even have to ever prepare dinner, right? You get a
Not
dinner,
on the weekends.
You get a dinner.
Oh yeah,
just,
no, like our out to eat bill and stuff is just because
Yeah.
3 to 4 days a weekend I got, I eat breakfast.
You're catered.
I usually because we get like it's late night, so I usually get home anywhere from like 1:45 to 3, and so obviously like I try and sleep in as much as I can. So, breakfast kind of turns into lunchy brunch. So that's like eggs and toast, and then you're just getting ready for dinner. But they're bringing in dinner. So yeah, it's been good. There's different perks to it for sure.
Well,
So-
it's something I appreciated was like I saw you at 8 a.m. mass, and I'm like, and I know you're up till
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, but you're still there.
That was tough.
I just appreciate that about you as a man. Like it's hard to do. It'd be easy to sleep in and say I'll get it next week.
Yeah, that's
But-
the habit thing.
Yeah,
It's either habit or it's not, and that's why because I know like stress eating or like all those different like habits, or maybe like pick on your nails or whatever. But like I know I've always been susceptible to like eat like overeating because I love sugar. Like there's never been anything where I'm like that's too sweet. Like it's not sweet enough.
yeah.
So like anytime like I'm feeling some kind of stress or I'm upset or I'm frustrated or blah blah blah, and like I want to eat, like I've never allowed myself. Like if I'm in any kind of mood, food is off limits. Cause I know if I do it like once or twice, then all of a sudden now anytime I'm stressed or anything, I'm eating.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So that's like church. Like if I ever, or like even with like Lydia or the family, like she used to like when she was still like just turned 21, like she would go out with her friends and stuff, and I'm like, church is in the morning, like good morning, and she's like,
oh yeah,
like can we just skip? I'm like no, like you just it's not something you can do. You can't skip.
You know, one thing people have said too, I think, with when it goes to that, talking about the habit of going every time, like eventually it transitions to like a desire to go. Yeah. I mean, there's this, I mean, and I think priests will talk about that too. They'll say like, if you're having a hard time, just keep going. Like, even if you're not getting anything out of it, like as a Catholic, you believe that Jesus is physically present there in the Eucharist, you know, body, blood, soul, and divinity. We believe he's there. So you just keep going, and eventually there's a desire that starts to pull you there. And then then the habit isn't really the thing making you go, right? Which is just, it's an amazing transition. And when that happens, then you're starting to have this relationship. And we've talked about that with other podcasts too, you know, where you start to have a relationship with Jesus, and then everything has changed. Like now you're going to see somebody at church and basically have this relationship with him where you're embracing, and there's you know, it's just, there's something that happens. And so yeah, that's what I've always I've loved.
Well, yeah, like could you imagine if you lived out of state and your mom came into town and you were up late the night before with friends or whatever, you wouldn't like skip breakfast with your mom.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But then we tend to do that when it's like, well, that's just Jesus.
Yeah. Or who was it? Maybe it was like, do you listen to the Mike Schmitz podcast at all? Yeah. Like in his stuff. So he had a couple good ones that like really hit with me. It was like, he's like, God's not your grandma. Because like if you did that, like if you're like, grandma invited me over to dinner, but like like this happened, like she'll be okay. Like grandma would be fine with it. Like it's not really cool, but grandma still loves you. It's like, yeah, but God kind of, he's not grandma. Like he did give you rules and he told you what to do. So like you need to do them. Like he'll forgive you, but you need to like do them. He's not like, it's okay. It's like, no, that hurt me. And then like when he went like into church and going to church, I always thought it was like, because like as a kid in school and stuff, your mind, like I always got my mind gets distracted. I daydream, like things like it's tough to sometimes, depending on the length of the homily, you know, or the undulations of the voices. Like some priests are just, and it's tough, like to listen. But Mike Schmitz was like you're there to honor this, like just acknowledge the sacrifice of like that he died for you. Like it'd be good for you to learn something from the holiday and this, but he's like, your ultimate goal is to go there and just be like, you died, you sacrificed, I'm here to like thank you for that and acknowledge that, and like to have that every time. And so I was like, okay, well at least that kind of changed it for me to like, now instead of like leaving church like, crap, I didn't learn anything, it's like, nope, like I made sure to like acknowledge what you did and thank you for it. Like so that was like a big flip for me, let alone like you get to know the people you sit next to every day. You know, for the longest time at 8 a.m. Mass, like I got Gary, or I always call him Gary and Lael. Like I got Larry and Gail sitting right there. And so like I'm like,
they're
crap.
great.
I'm like, if I don't go, they're gonna be like, well, where are they at? You know, or if they don't,
because they're your neighbors. I mean, they have like right down the road from you.
Or if they don't show up, I'm like, well, where are they at?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like skipping church today, you know. So you start like people start holding you accountable, but you want to see them.
Yeah, that's great.
You know, like what a pair, sitting next to every morning.
They're fantastic. They are fantastic. I mean, yeah, it's funny.
I think it's interesting, like you mentioned that about food. Like that's good self-awareness, and I wouldn't think for you and your size and your background that like food would be a struggle for you, but like I know I struggle with that at times, and it's they call it emotional eating or whatever. And, like, but I've got friends who are recovering alcoholics, and it's the same thing. They're like, that's just is off limits. And for you to say like, I just know that stuff's off limits for me. I just don't do whatever. Like, I try to only eat popcorn. If I'm gonna have a snack after 8, and I have I don't put any oil in it or anything. Like I'm like, it's good enough. Because what I want is a piece of cake. I'm a sugar guy.
Yeah.
Like that. Oh man, if I had your job, I'd be 240.
Yeah. But then it's this. I always tell people like when they see Lydia, like, oh, you're pregnant. I'm like, actually, she just doesn't have self-control on the weekends. Like it's not a baby.
I can't believe you say that in front of her. She's the sweetest.
Oh yeah, well I call her Big Mama. Yeah, she's all belly, so she's really skinny. That's what I can say.
She's like 5'6".
That's generous. No, she's like 5'4".
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. She's not very tall. So like my aspirations of a linebacker someday, like I've ruled them out a long time ago. When I knew she was the one, I'm like, we're working with a golfer or like a gymnast or
like,
a
dentist,
or somebody with brains.
Yeah,
you know, don't go get your head beat.
Hilarious.
Get your head beat in like that.
Well, like that kind of makes me think of your mom as far as like you with woodworking. So I remember, I think one of the first times we were kind of talking about doing something, we kind of collaborated on a project maybe with leather and wood, but you got into woodworking because of your mom, right? Would that be accurate?
We both kind of did it together.
Okay.
Like she was always the kind of mom to like DIY things. So when we had a birthday cake, like she would make the Buzz Lightyear cake, you know, or she'd make the Scooby-Doo cake, or like Halloween, like we wanted to be a leopard or whatever. Like she would sew and figure out how to make the costume. And then so like one of my girlfriends in college, she wanted a headboard, and like I kind of like I took high school woodworking and stuff, and then she wanted it, and I'm like, I can make that. Like we ain't paying that. Like I can do it. So I made it. And it was good. And then somebody else kind of wanted one, and you know, like all the stuff had to be at their house because I was living in a dorm, or a duplex at the time. And then so she was, you know, she's a stay-at-home mom, so she was there. So she'd just help me, and then we both just kind of kept learning and getting better, and then it just, you know, eventually just ended up being our quality time together. So we were working on projects, but like I'd go home and work, and you know, I'm working with my mom, and we'd take a lunch break, and I'd be eating lunch with my mom, and
that's great.
So it was like really special family time for that. But kind of like the venue and stuff, it's like I feel like, why can't I learn that? You know, and I feel like you're like a pretty prime example. Like you've got a lot of like skills. I feel like you've got a lot of trades and stuff.
Thank you.
And you're just like, well, I'm not gonna hire somebody. Like I'll figure it out. Like I'll YouTube it, especially now with YouTube.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
I could do that. Like the other day, my brakes were going. Like my brakes in my truck were squeaking, and I'm like, I could do that. I feel like I can do that. And so you just YouTube it and you figure it out. Now, now I can do brakes.
Yeah. I think if you can get over the fear of like screwing it up,
yeah,
then you're like good, right?
For sure. And especially if you have somebody like in person.
Yeah.
Like so if I had to do like something leather, and like you could come over and like you could physically show me and watch me, then you're like super learn better.
Yeah.
But that's like having that like community again.
Yeah.
So like with Larry, you know, like Diesel guy. Like if I had something with mine, he'd be like, "Oh, that's easy," and he'd come over and he'd fix it.
That's a good Gary.
Yeah. Well, you know, throw their overalls on and can come over and like he'd be able to show me and fix it, and then I'd be good for it. But like I had somebody to teach me and do it. But some people aren't. Like I've got a lot of friends that are just they're kind of weenies. Like they're accountants or financial guys. They just only desk guys. Like, and they're just. Like, why would you change your brakes? Just go take it in. So, like, just the values are different, you know? Like, I've always wanted land, and, like, I want to take care of the land and, like, have the animals and stuff. And my buddies are getting ready to, like, want to buy a house. And I'm like, there's some land out, like, buy the land. Like, let's like, get 5 acres or something. They're like, no. You think I want to mow all that? No. So it's just a like, we're friends, but we're different in, like, certain aspects like that.
That's funny because you grew up on an acreage. Right.
We had like we maybe had an acre, but we were in a neighborhood.
Okay. So I was just wondering, like, a lot of times kids, like our kids are growing up in the country, they like our teenagers hate it.
Yeah,
like,
they want to go to the city.
It takes them 20 minutes to get into town, so they can't see their friends. It's just it's an effort.
Yeah.
So I wondered, like, would you have hated it? Because you were in Denton, right? I mean,
we were so like. Well, I was in the outskirts of like the city,
okay.
So like we were away from like we weren't like stacked on top of each other in a neighborhood, but you know I still lived on a circle. There's like 7 houses on the circle. Like I can go out the front door and be like, hey, buddy.
Okay.
So but I wasn't like the life we're living out here now, like with land and horses and stuff like that.
That's
but
beautiful.
I do see that how it's the opposite.
Yeah.
And we meet people that come in like to the wedding venue from like a small town like Adams or Brainerd or something, and I'm asking them what they're doing. They're like, oh, we live in Omaha now. I'm like, oh, you didn't want to like be in Brainerd? And they're like, oh no, had to get out of there. So it's like a weird opposite thing.
Right.
It's weird. Like, why wouldn't you? You know, even how we got our land, like the previous owner's kids, they didn't want it. Like they would have inherited it. And he's like, do you want it? And they're like, no. And he's like, well, I'm going to sell it and use the money then. You're not going to wait till I die and then use it. But I couldn't believe it. I'm like, if my family had land and wanted to give it to me, like, that's the dream.
Yeah. That's the same with we always grew up hunting, and we, you just want to be on the country. You know, you just loved it. And it's funny because we have a team member, hasn't been introduced yet, right?
Not yet.
Not officially. But they're from a small town too. But I think they really loved it. And so
and I guess there's both sides because there's a lot of like, especially like farming, like people that are in farming families, like my brother-in-law. It's like, I'm a farmer.
Yeah.
Like this is what we do.
Yeah.
And we're staying, like we're dying on the farm.
Yeah.
And then you got the other kids that for whatever reason something catches their eye and they're like, this ain't for me. I'm out of here. And like almost a resentment towards it sometimes.
Oh.
It was funny. It was about a year ago. I moved my business into Lincoln, and I wanted a table, and Mike goes, "Oh, you gotta call Josh Banderas." And I was like, "Oh, that's funny. I knew a guy named Josh Banderas who played football." It's like, yeah, that's Josh Banderas. Yeah, he does woodwork. I'm like, what?
Amazing. I mean,
random.
You got to Google it because, like, I mean, the stuff that you've done.
It's gotten better.
It is amazing.
You go back and look at your first stuff, and you're like,
yeah.
Ooh.
Well, you did something for was it for the university or something? I think you've done some things for that.
I did something for the mill, and then I did like something for like an auction kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like did a nice thing for that. Yeah, no, it's like you got to do stuff, man.
Well, you did a table though that I think you had some buddies around it and stuff. Was it for a buddy? But it was like this long table. I think you did epoxy through it.
Probably we've done a couple of those river tables.
It was huge. It was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I really like a lot of those stuff. Like I really want to get into it because I liked it, and like I wanted one of those kind of thing, and like I'm sure like you with your projects you like it too. You like see this thing online, you're like that would be cool to do. Yeah. But then you're just waiting for somebody. You're like, I can't really just dump money into it and just do it right now. But if somebody else wants it, I would really like to do this.
Right.
So
Cut your teeth on it.
Yeah. So when people are like, "What should we get?" I'm like, steering them. Like, maybe you should try that.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Like selling them that way.
I made a dining room table, and my first one turned out terrible, just terrible. But I had a barn that was 120 years old, and I took some panels out of it. And it was super thick. I might have talked about it on the podcast before. It's super heavy, and I built it in our kitchen. And then I didn't realize, like, I can't get it out of the kitchen. Because we get 7 kids, so I was like, I'm doing a 10-foot, 9 or 10-foot table out of, like, true 2x8.
Still in there?
No, I've since moved. Yeah, but the first one was just like, I got done. I'm like, well, it looks like a table.
Yeah.
It done like the next one. I had a buddy that knew how to plane wood, and like I did it right, and it turned out great. But there's something about making your own thing. But there's like at first you got to see that in yourself and be like, I can do that.
Yeah.
There's just something masculine about that where you say, yeah, I can do that. Like even leatherwork, I still look at it and I'm enamored. I'm like, that's so cool. But like I don't know, I could probably do that.
You just got more ownership in it. It's different when somebody comes and does something for you, and you're like, I don't know. It feels different. It feels different when it's not your thing. So like we tore down a barn in town and then rebuilt it on our property.
Oh wow!
And I'm like, well, I could have had paid to do somebody, but like I know how it was built. Like when I'm like building shelves or something, I'm like, okay, like, I know how sturdy this thing is. Or like when Lydia's like, well, let's hang it on that. I'm like, it's not. We're not gonna hang it on that one. Like, I remember how that one went up. We're not gonna do that. You know all that stuff. Like like how much stuff you've done in here. Like, every nook and cranny, you're like, I dropped the hammer behind that. It's still in there.
Yeah. There's a dead possum. There was a dead possum right back here. So
see
that a lot.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
There's a little folklore around the barn. People don't know it because they only see it through the camera lens. Like one time we said there's a tractor over there. And one of my buddies who actually came on and did an interview, he's like, I just thought you were like talking like, there's a tractor over there. Like, no, it's the tractor right there.
Yeah. There's all kind.
Did you guys know about the Waverly Camp Creek Thresher? Did we tell you about that? I'm trying to think. We saw you Sunday at Mass.
You said, and it's like where you churn your own butter, and they bring the tractors, and like, is it fun?
It's amazing. We've been to it multiple times, but have you ever been out there to the?
Not to that one.
Okay, it's like a pioneer kind of a situation,
yeah, awesome.
And but there's like hundreds of tractors and all different models, but it's like your kids are gonna love it.
Yeah,
when you start bringing them up, it's super cool. They did tractor pulls for kids like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds.
Yeah,
it's really fun.
That's what I'm excited for. Like, because I don't know, I've got a buddy that he lives like a homestead lifestyle in Virginia. Like he grows all of his own food. Like he's got like working horses. Like he's literally got an old school like I forget what you call it that cuts the hay. So he does everything by horse. He plows the field with a plow drawn by horses. Like he's got a carriage. Like he's living this.
How many acres does he have to be able to?
I think he's got like. I think he says he's got like 10 to 15, something like that.
So he's able to be self-sufficient, pretty much. I mean, maybe not completely.
Yeah,
but.
they still go. You know, they still go to the store if they need some stuff. But they like. He's like, yeah, we have this yurt, and we just like anytime the weather's nice, like we're just living in the yurt. And so like there's that lifestyle, and then there's the lifestyle of like iPads, and you know we're doing all this, and we're inside, and so it's like we're very much like an old traditional kind of like how we want them to grow up and stuff. Like I don't want them to be on a screen. Like I want to go be outside and eat dirt or play with the horses or like do all this other stuff. Like we can listen to music. It's just like the balance of if you deprive them all that, and then when they're older and they like see it for the first time, or they like now they're like I've missed out on all this. I need it. Or like, are they like, I like being outside, you know?
Yeah, you what you guys are doing is great because, like, we always talked about like, I mean, having the kids they would just run around through the trees, and your kids, I know you guys had an acreage too, and I mean, just being able to do that is just such an amazing. And we talked with Matt Simmons on I think our first podcast about working with your hands and how that helps to work through things that you maybe are struggling with. It's just like this repetitive motion, and you're kind of, it's a way of like having some therapeutic things happening to you as you're working through. So working outside with your hands, woodworking and stuff. So yeah, that's great.
Yeah, And then the other thing is like the overstimulation of information. Like before all the internet and like the Twitters and all that stuff, like you knew what you knew through school and like textbooks. So like you had the food pyramid. But now you go on and like, what's a balanced diet? Like you Google that and you're going to get a million different answers and like this fad and what's good. And then like how to raise your kids. It's like, this is how you discipline them or this is how you do it. Like there's so much volume of like, there's no right way, but it'd be nice to know if there was a right way. Like that's the other kind of scary thing for me is like, we'll figure it out as we go, but something's wrong, something's not wrong, or something's better than others. Like that's like overwhelming for me, like getting ready to have this kid.
Yeah, but I don't think you have to worry. I mean, I think Jonathan would agree. Like he's very good about like resting with the Father. Yeah. Putting it in God's hands and his providence. And then I remember Christopher West was talking to Matt Fradd once, and he was talking about how like he was worried that he kind of screwed up his kids, you know, because you're trying to raise your kids and you're, you know, making decisions about them and getting angry, whatever. And he's like, well, if I told you that, you know, God's in control and you don't need to worry about that, what does that do? And for Matt Fradd, he said, well, that just makes my shoulders just relax and everything because I don't have to own that anymore. And the idea is that, and Jonathan's very good about it, like they have a savior and it's not you, right? Your kids, right? So they are growing up and you're relying on God's providence and he's going to keep you in the rails, right? Like as long as you keep like searching for him, he's just going to keep you in the rails and you don't have to worry about anything.
Well, I've never really thought about it like applying to that way. It's like I had kind of a like it makes sense now to be able to like apply it to like raising the kid and doing that the right way. Because I remember I was thinking about like one of the kids I was coaching one time, and like for school, it's like if you literally just do exactly what the teacher tells you, like no more effort, just show up to class, like just do the work the best you can and turn it in. I'm like, it's perfect. And they just couldn't do it. And I in my mind, I couldn't understand. I'm like, it's not just, they're literally telling you the instructions on how to do it and just do it. And you're going to be fine. You're going to pass the class. You're going to be on the team. Yeah. And then I like started applying it to my life and I'm like, ooh, like God gave us pretty good instructions. Like, it's not like, don't lie, don't do like, and it's like all the time we're just like falling off and doing things. And like, so I'm sitting there like saying this kid like, dude, it's not that hard. And I imagine what God's sitting there like, it's not that hard. Just hold my hand, like, and you're never going to fall. Yeah. And all the time we take it away.
You are going to fall. Yeah. I've even got something for that for you. I'm going to forgive you every time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was a big, like hypocritical sort of like kind of realization. It's like, I'm telling you to like, it's not that hard. Just simple instructions, do it. Yeah. And all day, like every day, we're like straying from these simple instructions that we were given. And like, not our fault, not really, but it's just, this is very humbling to be, to like understand that. And so like to apply that to like the kids, like, nope, just like if you're a kid and you're holding your dad's hand, like you're never going to fall. But if the kid lets go, like, you're gonna fall sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I'll pick you back up, but so I was like, just hold his hand the whole time. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there comes a point, like even as a parent, like when you're teaching your first kid to ride a bike, like you're gonna let them fall.
Yeah.
Like, and it sucks because you're like, they're gonna scrape their knee,
Yeah.
they're gonna bang their elbow, whatever. But like, I got to let them feel that.
Right.
Like it's, if you try to protect, I've heard this online, you try to protect an oak tree and you don't ever let it feel the wind, like you use tie downs, it'll never dig its roots deeper.
That's a good one.
And then one day when the first wind comes along, it's just gonna snap.
Yeah.
So you've got to let it dig deeper, but that means going through tough times. So even with the kids, like sometimes you see them struggling with something, but you got to let them struggle.
Yeah.
Because if you don't,
right,
they're gonna be weak.
Yeah. Nah, man, I'm excited.
And
I'm excited to go through all that.
I love, like, when you talk about you've mentioned the 10 Commandments, and I think when you, like it's been said before, but once you grasp those, then you realize, okay, these are actually not meant to like stifle me. This is freedom.
Yeah.
Like, you want freedom in your life and peace, then just like you're gonna want to do them because you want to like do what's right, like you're a moral person, and yeah.
We had a rule, like in our house, you're not allowed to stick forks in outlets.
That's
like
a pretty good rule.
And the kids weren't like, what? But that's you're like, hey, it's just a rule. We don't do that,
right?
And it's for your protection. So like, don't kill. That's kind of obvious.
Yeah, it's a pretty. I don't know.
It's funny. It's like you said. There's 10 simple.
There's
rules.
10 simple rules.
You live within that, and
it just
you can be all right.
It's just in our nature, just to.
Now I can do it perfectly, but he doesn't expect that.
Or what's it called? Concupiscence, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like proclivity to sin.
Yep.
So it's just crazy to think about that. When you like, especially coaching these high school kids. I'm like, nah, told you. See that? Go left. Not hard. And every day, like, I see it and I go right. And I just imagine like God and Jesus are just like the most like yeah, just, and they're just laughing, like, they're just laughing, like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the movie, the Shack. Like, The Shack was one of my most favorite books.
Crazy.
Like, it was so powerful. The movie kind of ruined it a little for me because, like, it wasn't as detailed. But, like, that was, like, the waterfall scene where he's like, I'm like, the guy that did that to my daughter, like, he needs to go to hell, and, like, I want all this bad stuff to happen. And they're like, oh, okay, you're the judge. Go ahead, pick one of your kids. And then, like, he couldn't. He broke down. He couldn't. He's like, now you understand. So I just, like, we've got all these things that I'm thinking of and doing and all this, and he's just got to be sitting up there like, okay,
that
you'll figure it out. Keep coming. Yeah.
That I saw the movie. I didn't read. Well, I don't know if I read the book, but just from a judgment perspective, like, to not judge another person, like, because you don't have any idea what they went through. And then I think in that movie, at least, they talk about, like, well, if you're gonna blame him, you're gonna have to blame his dad.
Yeah, and where's it stop?
Like, where do you stop?
Yep.
And so whose fault is it?
Right.
And I was like, man, that's really where you. And I think when you start living that way, where you start looking at people, and this is why we are able to do these stories, and you hear about people's stories and what they've been through. Then you're like, okay, like, I can start looking at everybody I interact with. The pizza guy, the guy sitting next to me at Walmart. Like, everybody's got these stories and wounds and things that they're dealing with, and they're just trying to make it through the life. And this is how it's coming out, if it's, with different manifestations of how they're living their life. But yeah, when you start to grasp, like, not judging. And I think, was it Father Johnson at Mass this last weekend? He was saying something to the fact of, oh man, I'm gonna blank on it too right now, but it was, you weren't like, to not judge people was where he was coming from, but anyway, I lost my train of thought. So,
I think and he was like, but you, like, obviously, like, you're gonna have opinions, like, you can, like, form your opinion, but not to, like, true, like, they're still the same, like, still the same person. I find myself doing that, like, more and more, like, even when I'm driving or something. Like, somebody cuts you off or, like, blah blah blah, I'm like, I could get really mad and, like, go back at them, and, like, maybe they're just an a-hole and they did it, or it's like, or they could be in a rush, or, try and see, like, the other side of it. Or when somebody did something or said something, it's like, yeah, but maybe just trying to think of it more rather than just react. As I've been trying to, like, be a little better,
like, through God's eyes, you're kind of seeing it. And I think you had mentioned just something recently about that. Weren't we talking about that on the thread? I think you had some sort of story that you were talking about.
Yeah, to give you an example,
it was like, I've done, things that you've done. It's like, well, I do that sometimes. Or, like, all the people that come through the wedding venue, like, all the time. So, for instance, like people go behind the bar. Like when they get there in the morning, they're all getting ready and doing their hair and makeup. Like you think it'd be a pretty simple rule not to go behind the bar. Like it's kind of an off limits place. And so we put up a sign that said off limits behind the bar, and then that didn't work. So then we put trash cans in a cone plus a sign, and that didn't work. And then so I got a baby gate and the trash cans and the cone and the sign. Then we had another sign said like Acreage, like employees only, like stop. That didn't work.
Whoa.
So then I put an alarm on the baby gates. When they opened it, it would whoop, 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 whoop. And that didn't work. And so, like, we're sitting here just, like, getting ready to explode at these people. And then we talk to each other and we're like, yeah, but that's that person's first mistake. It's the 50th time I've seen that mistake.
Oh.
So I've been agitated 50 times on the same thing.
Yeah.
But it was their first time doing it. So I got to, like, whoo. Your first mistake, no problem. Don't do it. I haven't gotten to the sarcastic point where I'm like, did the baby gate, the trash cans, the cone, and the signs just,
wow.
Do we not?
Do you have to climb over all of that when you're trying to get back there? Like, what a mess.
I know. It'd be nice if I could just walk in there.
You should just put some electric wire up.
Yeah. If you need a paintball.
I've been talked about. But even like they did the baby gate and the alarm went off and they were like, oh, and then continued to go do their thing. It's like, what?
Oh man.
But I got like it's a service industry, so like I can't be.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, oh, the owner was kind of an a-hole to me, like because I did this. It's like no, like because I would love to be like, buddy.
Yeah.
Like let's think here.
It's cool though, because it calls you to greater. Like, and I think at the root of that is it's calling you to love better, like to forgive. To see the humanity in that person.
Yeah.
Because we've all been. I mean, as much as people have driven by and flipped me off or whatever, cut me off, like. I've probably done that to people. I mean, I don't flip people off, but I'm sure I've cut people off. And I was
wanted
like,
to, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, trust me, I want to. But.
And just like I've been able to like feel like intentions more. Like intentions matter. So like one guy, I like at the end of like my parking lot, like we'd been waiting for sod, so it was all just like maintained dirt. Like they came and they made it look really pretty and getting ready for sod. And so I got 3 dumpsters, and then I had like a car. So there's like this small gap that you could go back on the dirt. And this guy the parking lot was full, so he went, and then like no pause, just kind of slipped right between, went clear back in my dirt behind the building, and it just rained like 2 days before, and it was all muddy, and he did this big circle U-turn and went back and he parked. And like my gals told me about it, and I went back and watched it on film, and I'm like, so I watched and found the guy who did it, and I'm like, sir, and I had him come back, and he was so mad. He's like, well, there's no sign here that says I can't turn around. He's like, it's just dirt. And in my head, I'm like, well, buddy, like it's obvious. The concrete ends, it turns to dirt, it's mud, blah, blah, blah. But he was just getting so mad, and I'm like, we ended up resolving it. But like in my head, I'm like, he honest to goodness, had no idea that he did anything wrong. Like it's not like he was like, I shouldn't do this, I'm going to do it anyways.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, how can I be, like we're still going to have to, like it's still happening, we're going to need to resolve this, but how can I be mad at you if you honest to goodness didn't have the intention to do something wrong? Yeah. So like the intentions is what I'm seeing. Like I can tell like a little kid stole some stuff from our like groom suite and took it, and I'm like, your intention was to steal. Like you intentionally like knew it was wrong and kind of tried to sneak it and do it anyways. It's like I can be upset at that, but the guy with the bad intentions, it's like you really didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Help me fix this, but like intentions have just been so much more prevalent like through this whole business thing.
You'll be a good dad. I mean, you're learning a lot of patience with all these people coming through, right? So
I know between the venue and my high school kids, Elmira, learned a lot of patience.
Yeah.
That's been good.
Yeah, be careful what you pray for. You pray for patience, and God gives you situations
to be patient about.
in.
But I've always been. I'm a I can't stand confrontation. I've never liked it. I've just never. I try and avoid it at all costs. Sometimes maybe that's caused me to like, been like get taken advantage of, or like certain things like that. But like I'd never change. Like you get walked on so many times, eventually like I think people get kind of hard, and they're like, nope, because they let all those other people ruin it for the one. But I've always tried to like. I understand, like, we'll get it done, I'll do it, like, kind of bend over backwards for people, but I feel like you'd rather be that way than somebody who doesn't.
Yeah, you're kind.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise you get calloused and...
Well, yeah, which I can understand. Like all these times you go to like into a bar or like something like that, and the owner or the manager is just an a-hole and like doesn't put up with nothing, like quick to trigger. And I'm like, I get it.
Yeah,
I understand.
right.
It's like that 50-time thing. Like he sees this every weekend and he's just done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So as you say that, what came to mind was like, you go to confession, and I wonder those priests, man, they hear the same thing, and they got a line of 50 people lined up, probably saying the same 5 things or whatever.
Man,
how easy it would be for that priest to be like, just knock it off.
Yeah.
I heard you say this 2 days ago or last week, and the last 20 people just said it. Just everybody quit it, you know. But like the patience that they have to come to just forgive, because they are Christ present to those people,
right?
Just as you are.
Yeah.
Like people are gonna see the reflection of God in you in the way that you respond. Not to put pressure on you. But.
Right. Yeah. Man, I learned so much from Kilcawley just in the short time that we were here. Like the job of a priest just seems so impossible to me. Like, because I've always looked, like when you were a kid and you went and saw your teacher, like your teacher wasn't a person. The teacher was your teacher. They were supposed to be the same attitude every day. They were supposed to be happy to teach you. It's like, actually, this is a real human being. Like their boyfriend just dumped them. They're having a bad day. They're sick. Like they can't, but like as a kid, and so like forever, even like up until like I met Father Kilcawley, I'm like, the priest should be the same.
Oh yeah.
Like you're always supposed to, like, nothing bad happened in your life.
You're supposed
like
to have everything
you're supposed
together.
to be this figure. Yeah, this figure.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then like he started explaining. I'm like, oh, like, because I can tell when a priest is off of the homily, but like never in my mind did I think to go up and ask him after mass, like, hey, you good, man? Like, anything going on? You know, because it's like they're just people too. You know, it's the same thing. But then you brought up confession, and I'm like, do you imagine that? Because they're not allowed to tell anybody. So you're hearing all this stuff, and you're not allowed to like say anything about it.
Yeah, right.
Like
Complain
what
or,
and like even something like as far as like somebody having an affair or like doing something bad, like, and you, because they know who it is, especially in small parishes, like you know voices. Like you could be behind a wall, but I know it's Mike. You know what I mean? And like, but to not let that affect your life at all, or affect that relationship with that person.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like what?
Yeah,
or tough
even
job.
I can't imagine like being in that chair and wanting to say like, oh, for your penance, you piece of, you know.
Yeah,
like,
to not judge them.
Yeah, you're gonna re-roof the parish, you know. You know, but instead they're like, God's mercy.
Some parishes would be nice.
You don't have to earn it. Like say 3 Hail Marys, and thank God for being so great.
Man,
I think if you talk to priests too, they always say that they love doing the confessions. Like I don't think it's really that necessarily. It's not necessarily a burden. I mean, some people will hear them for hours on end, but I think that they really cherish that sacrament, and because it's such a way of like people are like able to leave their burdens, and Christ, you know, through the priest is able to give absolution. And I know that some people that aren't Catholic may not quite grasp all of that, but I think that the priest is so welcoming. And there's people that will like go for years and not go to confession just out of a fear, and I always feel sorry for them, because I'm like, gosh, it's such there's a therapy that happens there with just hearing the words of absolution, to be able to talk to somebody about what happened or what you're going through, but to wait for a long time before you go again, it's really unfortunate.
Well, I think about even so as a father, when my kids come to me, like I have my 12-year-old daughter came to me a week ago, and she's like, Dad, I got to tell you something, and I was like, strap in, what's going on? And she's like, Dad, I did X, you know, and I wasn't honest with you about it. And like there was no part of me that was like, you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
You know, I was like,
because you told me.
Yeah, I was just so proud. And so first thing out of my mouth was like, thank you for being honest with me. Like we can now restore this relationship, because you damaged it when you did what you did.
Sure.
But you came to me in honesty and told me, so I forgive you. Let's not do that again. And I'm like, but that's what confession is. Yeah. I'm going to confess my sins and amend my life. I'm not going to do that, or I'm going to try not to do that again.
Yeah, what a special moment too.
Yeah. Oh man,
that's probably awesome for you, and a big milestone for her to be like, oh, I can actually like.
Yeah.
I can tell him things.
Well, the fact that she felt she could come to me and share that meant I was safe enough. I was safe enough space to do that.
And then just to keep affirming it every time she's like, and then like the 6th time you do the same thing, it's like, okay, honey, I appreciate you telling me. This is like number 9. We need to start to cut this out.
Well, that's like the eating too much sugar. Like, we're gonna stop putting sugar in the fridge,
right?
So that you don't keep eating it.
We're gonna help you out here a little bit.
But what a great example of a father, right? Like to know what this is what a father sounds like, and this is how his mercy is, and so then you've instilled in that in her of like, okay, I'm not gonna come down on you, and like we're not cutting our relationship in half. This is something where I understand you did this, and I forgive you. And I will never remember it. That's what the thing is about confession. God never remembers.
Yeah. In that situation, I decided to do the age-old thing. I said, well, I mean, we got to make this right. So what do you think a punishment should be for this? And she's like, oh man, I don't know. And I'm like, oh, I know.
There's a little mental. That's like, go pick your switch.
Yeah,
yeah. You pick it too small though. I'm gonna go pick it.
Right. Yeah. I think it's bigger. Yeah. So she came up with exactly what I was gonna tell her, and I said, I think that seems reasonable.
Yeah.
If you're good with that, then that's gonna be your punishment. She took it like a champ, and relationship restored.
All right. Yeah. That's all the punishment too. Like, again, all the things out there. Like, do you hit him? Do you not hit him? Do you yell at him? All of that stuff. But then you go back to the story of my dad and my uncle. And he's like, the uncle was terrified of getting like spanked. He's like, no, I'll do this. My dad's like, hit me and get it over with.
No.
And I'm like, that's a trouble one.
Wow.
We're gonna have to work on you.
Yeah.
He's like, just hit me and get it done with. And I was like, please no.
Well, I'm doing a retreat in the fall, and it's around being prodigal, and that's both the son, the brother, and the father. But like the challenge of the father was to be present and open and ready, and even waiting for that child to come back. Like the child who said, "You're dead to me. Give me your money. I'm out."
Yeah.
He just left the family and the business and everything, and just left. But the father stayed there patient, and I think we go through all those stages of the son. I mean, we've all committed sins and done things we shouldn't have and had to come back and ask for forgiveness. Some of us have been the brother who we just don't know how to receive God's love. Like, it's hard. We don't think we deserve it, or we're not worth it, or whatever it is. And sometimes we're called to be the father and just being patient for people. And, now that you're about to be, you are a dad, but you're about to meet your baby.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have those times. It's going to come. Not just with your baby, but with your wife, too. Where, like, you got to be patient and wait. And it's hard. But, like, you sound like just an amazing man, Josh. Like,
well, thank you. Apparently I'm a good fibber. It's all good. I was raised. I had really good parents. I think they raised me the right way, and my grandpa was a big influence in my life. And I don't know. Now I just hope I can continue lying. And your kid says that about you someday. Like, that's my dad was a good dad. Yeah. Like, what better thing to hear from your kid than like to hear that.
Yeah, and your parents weren't perfect, like you said. There were times where it ebbed or flowed, going to church and being consistent. But that's them being human, and they talked to God about that. But it gave you space to like figure out your relationship with God the Father.
Right.
Like, in their shortcomings, they need to find God in that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the same with your kids. Like, they're going to need to find God, because you can't be God for them.
Right.
You can be an image of Him, but you're going to be a little bit blurry.
Yeah. That's like an interesting way to like see. Is like, we're both looking up to the same.
Yeah.
To the same guy. I've just got like a couple years on you, like trying to like learn him better. But then like you really think back to kids and like how innocent are the young ones. Like, they're probably closer than anybody, because they just not tainted by anything.
Yeah.
They just showed up, and they're as close. Who said that? I can't remember who said that. Maybe it was Schmitz, or maybe it was Skill College. Like as soon as your baby's born, like, that's as close as you're gonna get to like an angel, and like perfect. They haven't never done anything. Yeah. And they're perfectly made in the image of Him, and like, there's no ill will, there's no bad. They're just perfect. And so like, I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Pray with them.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's who they were saying. They say pray by Him, because that's like as close as you're gonna be right now. Like, to like praying to something perfect, and like God's the most present in that.
It's interesting. Like, so my twins, my oldest kids are 25, and like they are my kids, but like, they are also just as much a brother and sister in Christ.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm older than them, but at some point, like, you are and you aren't my kids. Like we're all just on the same journey. Yeah, we're all in the same field playing the same game. Like
that was a weird RCIA thing.
Oh, really?
They're like, there's no marriage. He's like, there's no marriage in heaven.
Yeah.
And like Lydia got really sad. She's like, what do you mean?
Oh.
And it's tough to like, he's having a hard time explaining it. He's like, well, there's just so much love from him that like you're all like, it's all the same love together, and like it's tough to like think about.
Yeah,
like,
but
that's my kid, that's my wife. Like,
yeah.
Well, you think
Forever.
that'd be your little heaven pack up there, but
Yeah.
it's like we're like there's so much love and difference up there. Like it's. She got emotional. She's
I think
like,
our love for
I want to be married to you forever.
Yeah.
well, you're newlyweds. Yeah.
That'll fade.
No, not in that. I mean, like almost in the sense that like I think your love is elevated beyond what we understand here. Like as a spouse, you know, you think, well, this is as bonding as it gets, but I don't think that's true. I think when we get to heaven, the bond with each other is greater than anything we've experienced here. I mean, it's the communion of saints. It's being at the end of that game where you win the national championship and like hugging each other. Like it does not get like if that moment became eternity,
Man,
you can't imagine.
that's why I love the shack so much. I mean, how cool would it be to like just experience it for a little bit, like to get to have that thing where you're like just with them. Like I always daydream, like what if like you're standing up in church and like you look across and like, oh, that's Jesus, like that's it. You just know, you know, like would you know, like would I know? And then, like, how would you react? Like, how just to just meet him or see him or, like, you know, whatever.
How would that change your life?
I
mean, imagine if we got that glimpse, even for 90 seconds, and you felt like it just hit you.
Well, yeah, what would it even feel like? It's like, I don't know. It'd be awesome. I always think that, like, when communion's going, I'm like, sometimes I go back and forth, like, could I, would I, if it was him in front, like, him standing there in person,
which
like,
hand do you put up for the...
Should I look up at you or should I be, like, more respectful or, like, am I, like... It's like you don't even know how you'd be, you know.
So I
how
think
cool would that be?
That ties right back to the guy who drives in your mud. Like, how do you meet him if you had just experienced God in His glory, and then you got this guy who was kind of a jerk?
Yeah.
I just think you'd be like, you know what? It's all right, man. Do you mind helping me just clean that up a little bit?
Just
like
help me out.
Yeah, I think you just like all the anger and all that stuff. I just think it'd melt.
Yeah, that'd be just for a day, just for a minute or a second, just to like be in like have that vision, like Shaq, where you get to have a conversation with God or Jesus or like the Holy Spirit comes down, like somebody, you know, manifests and just is right there in front of you. Like, what would it do? Like, how awesome would that be?
Father Johnson, when he was talking earlier at homily, he said, you know, Mother Teresa would serve these people, and she believed every person was Jesus. So like you're having a conversation with him, and you're loving him, and I think there's even mystical things that happen around that where you're serving somebody, and
well, theologically that's true. Like Christ is present in each of us.
Yeah,
like we are a living, walking tabernacle.
Yeah.
Which I think is why when we always keep coming back around to the coffee club the coffee group we go to, like there's such a an intimacy and like there's like a desire to be with each other that's God. Like if we keep trying to put our finger on why is this such a special group, well, it's because the Holy Spirit's moving through that group of men, and we hear like it's kind of like those guys on the road to Emmaus, or I'm not sure if we knew they were men or women, but the couple on the way to Emmaus who experienced hearing, you know, the stranger, but it ended up being Jesus after the resurrection. Well, then they were like, their hearts were on fire because he was talking, and so I think sometimes I listen to this guy all the time, and I'm like, man, I want to hear more of what you're talking about, and sometimes I'm like, just shut up. I'm just kidding, man. That never happens.
Yeah. I don't know. It'd be awesome. Well, we'll figure. I mean, someday, like that's the goal, right? Like some days to figure that out. And I always thought the craziest thing is like, the goal is to be a saint. Like, and like we could all have the healing powers. We could all like all the things like that could be us. Like if we just like, I don't know. It's just weird to think about that. Like we could all do that. We could all heal if you just were able to like truly find the path and do it. Like we could be like a Mother Teresa or like all these miracles and stuff and like put hands on people and help.
Yeah, so that's what Jesus said, though. He said, the people that come after me will do even greater signs than I do. But I think you are doing that. Like, look at how you affected your wife.
Yeah.
And you're going to have your child. And
those
then you
little miracles.
You get to see all these young men and playing football, and you get to touch their lives. No different than your grandpa or, you know, the Father, Monsignor Pleskotch. Just that little touch, that moment. where it affected you.
Yeah, that's true.
You get to be that right now for these people.
Yeah, so not everything's got to be like this big grand, heal the leper, like that little thing that.
Yeah, I think it is healing. I mean, we're not seeing an arm grow back.
Sure, but it's the same thing. It's just a little.
You're seeing someone's heart shift where they say, I feel loved. Because Coach Banderas, instead of coming over and knocking me on the helmet because I screwed up, he said, hey, you're going to do it better next time.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, you're like kind of rippling your grandpa through all these men.
Right.
And they get to look up to you because, I mean, as an athlete, especially as going to Division I and playing, like you're probably looked up to as an idol. Like you have like such power with that responsibility of the state in your life, but to be able to be like, I don't drink, like I mean, to like kind of go against the stigma of what it looks like to be a college athlete, or a pro athlete. I mean, you were right there. You were in the camp. I mean, you were right there.
Yeah.
So like for these kids to know, like, man, this guy is amazing, and he believes in God, and that's central to his core of what he believes in. So that you'll never know the ripple. Like you'll never know how many kids are affected by what one of these kids hears, and then it goes out from there. But it's amazing, man.
I'm a movie nerd, so it's like Bruce Almighty. Then, like with Morgan Freeman at the end, he's like, "No, the miracle is like the single mom that like gets to work every day and raises her 3 kids and is good, or the guy that works in the coal mine all day and comes home." It's like the little miracles. So that's a good point.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, I'm a movie nerd.
You got a favorite movie?
I don't know if I have like a favorite in mind. Like I've just got different ones I like watching all the time. Like, I'm a big Marvel like superhero kind of guy. But like my sleep movie is Atlantis, like the animated movie. Like if I'm like tired, I just put that on because I know it. It's just good movie, like weird stuff like that.
So if you like anime, did you like Into the Spider-Verse, that new one?
Yeah, it was good.
That
with
was
Miles.
good.
That was a good one. The Marvel's kind of gotten off a little spiral since Endgame. They've just kind of
the multiverse thing.
We're trying to we're trying to find our ground there.
Do you watch? My boys watch. I think it's Studio Ghibli. Is that the name of the? It's a bunch of
I don't know that one.
Oh, they love it. It's anime. I cannot get into anime.
Well, like Dragon Ball Z or like Naruto and all those stuff. Like I like that stuff.
You're nerding out.
Oh yeah, but there's a lot of football players that like that stuff. They just don't say it as much.
Oh really?
Yeah. Because everybody's got closed mind. I'm like, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You read a good book or you watch a good movie, it's literally the same. It's just a good story. Just instead of like real actors, they're just cartoon actors. It's this you're in it for the story. Good story. And and I tell you, some of them, the writers over in Japan, they can hook somebody. They can get you in.
I was surprised at that. Like I watched one movie with my boys. I don't know if it was at a theater or if it was at home, but like it had a moral to it, and like you're practically crying over these cartoon characters. I'm like, what is going on right now?
Get you going. But I don't know. I've never been afraid to like. My friends think I'm super weird, and they'll be like, "Oh, that makes sense." Like like you're different, but that's always been okay. I like what I like. But I've always been like I've always tried to be open-minded to like things and like think about things.
We were talking about Thad the other day. We had our event down at the Boiler, and Thad's a cool dude. Like, do you know Thad? Okay.
I've heard you talk about him.
He's got, I'm not sure which episode we interviewed Thad, but he owns the Boiler, part owner of the Boiler. But he just emanates cool. Like he's got trendy glasses, always got a cool hat on and everything. But I think that like you're kind of talking about what you're into, like to embrace that and be okay with it, and not care what anybody thinks. I mean, that's what people want to be able to do. Like you want to just love what you love, and then it's just kind of it's neat that you can embrace that.
Well, I think we embrace the uniqueness of ourselves is what it is. Like I'm attracted to so much about Mike, like his leather work and his music, and like
thanks, man.
Because you're you,
thanks.
like you're not trying to be somebody that you think I'll be impressed by. Just be yourself.
Yeah. No, from all your story, I mean, you lived on a Native American reserve, right, for a while. But like other people were like, "What are you doing, man? Like, go live in a regular house with there," and you're like, "No, like this is what I'm doing right now." And it was probably one of the best experiences ever, I imagine.
I would say, yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. So like, I don't know. I've got a lot of friends that don't like. They're so closed in to like, "We'll try that." Nope. Yeah, it's weird. We're not doing that. Like even something is like I tried sheep's milk the other day because I want to get some sheep and like I want to have milk on my farm, but I don't want cows. And like everybody that I tell, they're like, "Oh, like, well, have you tried it?" They're like, "No, and I never will." I'm like, "Whoa." Why?
What about goats?
I don't like the tangy aftertaste.
I don't think I've ever had it.
Love goat cheese.
Okay.
Phenomenal. Goat cheese. Awesome. Herb goat cheese from like Trader Joe's.
I saw a comedian the other day. He was talking about milk, and he's like, "Who was the first guy who's like, I'm gonna go milk a bunch of animals and see which one?" And he's like,
which one
do we ever
good?
get to the dog or like,
Yeah.
why do we settle on cows?
Somebody had to go first. It's like they said the first person to try bull riding, he wasn't the idiot. It was the second person that saw him and said, "That looks
I
good.
can do that."
Looks like a good." The first person to try, it's like, we'll see what this bull does.
He did it for 8 seconds. I can do
but
that.
the second guy was like, that looked like fun.
3 seconds later, he's like, regret.
Yeah, but just try it. I don't know. People just are, at least some of my friends are just very close-minded. You know, like, just open. But they're still good buddies of mine, and I love them. I do anything for them, and they, some would do anything for me too. So
Yeah.
Well, I think it's neat because it's that spirit that I think opened you up to that, even to the idea of, I want to do something on my own, and maybe that's doing a venue, and that became the spreadsheets that you're doing at night, and then you're Googling stuff, and you're contacting a mentor. Like there was a lot of steps in that process, but it's because there was something inside of you that said, I desire that.
yeah, why not is always a big question. Like, well, why not? Like even so, like designing houses and stuff. Like my buddy's getting ready to build his house, and like, put a slide next to the stairs going down the basement. No, I'm like, well, why? Like, how cool would that if you were a kid?
Yeah, right.
And you got a slide that gets you downstairs. They're like little, I don't know, little fun things like that, or trap doors and that. And then they're like, no, like that's just not what you do. It's like, well, why not?
Yeah.
You know.
My sister, they did
no
that
reason
off
not
their
to.
back deck. They have a spiral thing that goes down
Awesome.
to.
I've seen people do that.
Why didn't everybody do that?
Why didn't I do that? Why
You should
didn't
have
I
a
do the
fireman's
trap
pole
door?
in every house.
Yeah, like the little stuff like that, or the wedding venue. Like, it's like, well, why? It could work. Why not?
Dude, but that's
Find me a flaw.
That's the amazing thing. Like you're 30, right?
Yep.
And like what you've already done with just like living in a state of like, I'm not going to be afraid of this. I'm just going to give it a shot. I mean, things could go wrong, but you're willing to take the shot.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, now I did that. And I mean, now you're like, okay, what else can we do? Like, what's your
What's
your
next?
mind starts expanding of like, okay, you got a business degree. Like, there's a lot of opportunities. And then with your love of kids and your morality, like, man, it is going to be like, you can wreck a lot of stuff, right?
It's gonna
like,
be fun. Well, you know how you get, like, probably with the podcast and like even the leather stuff when you first started, like when you get into it and then you're like really into it and like you think about that all the time, you want to do it. So like the venue process, I was all in. Like I didn't need sleep. Like I'm like, this is fun. We're figuring it out. We're learning how to do things and put it together. So like there's this want from me like to do it again because like we got it. So like you can kind of take like your foot off the gas a little bit and like, whew, okay, like we did it. Now let's kind of so like I do kind of miss that like. Let's amp something back up. Like, let's do it again. Let's figure things out. Let's talk to people. Let's get things moving. I like getting off, like, the phone with, like, 4 phone calls. And, like, okay, I got to hang up. I'll work with that. And then another one. And then another one. And it's like, I really feel like things are moving and cogs are going and things are getting figured out. Like, that's kind of an adrenaline for me.
have you ever wanted to be like an agent, a sports agent? Did it ever cross your mind?
No, not a whole lot.
Okay.
I don't know. Part of it was because, like, I'm helping guys get to where I I wanted to be in that position. You know, I wanted to do that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Plus, I don't like I said, I don't like confrontation. So an agent, like, it's a lot of like back and forth, and you can't back down, know when to walk. Like, I didn't like that whole game of it.
Yeah.
There's other guys that like really like arguing
Thrived on that.
and like getting things done. Yeah.
Well, I think you're doing what you're supposed to do.
I hope so.
yeah.
I hope so. It's fun. We're enjoying it. We're
And
ready
what's
to-
the place called?
The Acreage.
The Acreage. So
Yep.
out in
Just south of
Palmyra.
Palmyra.
So if you're looking for a wedding,
Yeah, we'll put a link to it in the
Yeah.
in the description so people can find
Oh,
out
that'd be
more about
awesome,
it.
man.
Yeah.
yeah.
That'd be awesome.
So you've watched at least one of our episodes.
Yeah.
So you know kind of what maybe comes. Maybe you don't. No, actually, nobody ever knows what's coming next.
Everyone's like, "What are you doing?"
Are you ready? Like,
Yeah,
we
sure,
good? Okay,
yeah.
I'll go grab them.
So I think, Josh, we'll wait like, I don't know, a few months or a year, and we'll have you back on.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Because I think you're gonna be like the Mighty Ducks or something. You're gonna take Palmyra and you're gonna turn them into like national champions.
Boy, I hope
Like,
so. I'm
you know.
waiting for the Copper Moon to get rolling. Well, I thought about it, like a coffee shop redone. Like, we need something,
Yeah,
you know, because there's the market for it. Like, we're ready for it.
that'd be awesome.
No, I didn't see this part of Father Sean's.
Yeah, nobody ever does. Nobody ever sees this part. This is always a surprise. All right, so these are chicken eggs from a chicken's butt. This is our shtick, right? I'm always backwards here, so these are real eggs. There's 6 of them in there, and what we're gonna have you do is you're gonna pick out an egg, and we've got questions written down, and on the bottom of the egg is a number.
Okay.
So you tell us what number it is, and then we'll read you a
right.
question.
Give you
and
a random question.
Random question.
Fresh from this morning?
No.
Fresh
4.
enough.
4?
4?
Yeah.
I don't think
fresh
we've been
enough.
at 4 yet, have we?
I don't know.
Had a lot of
I think you got to
sixes.
stop saying that.
Oh, you're
because
right.
I feel like that makes it sound like we've had like 3 podcasts.
Ha!
Yeah, I think you're
So
like
we guess
number
there was
12.
gotta
I feel
have
like this is
start
our
adding the
1,000th
number up.
This is our 1,000th episode, wasn't it? I
Yeah,
can't
that'll
look
be
at
my egg number. Egg number
All right,
1,000.
here's
Number 5.
your number 4. If you could teleport anywhere right now, where would you go and why?
That's my superpower pick, by the way. Like if I was to pick a superpower, it's always to be able
What?
to teleport. Yeah.
Dude, we have some crazy stuff happen with these questions.
Yeah.
So
that's like if that's my I've got a genie wish and I've got a superpower and that's my superpower.
Teleport. So you already know the answer to this.
Where I think it'd be
Oh,
a
you
crazy
just
power.
want to
Never thought-
teleport.
Yeah, I just think it'd be an awesome
All
superpower.
right, now you got to figure
If
it
I
out.
could teleport one place, where would it be?
And why?
And why? Oh gosh, there's so many options. I don't know.
Oh, there's anywhere.
Yeah.
So many.
That is a
places.
pretty open-ended question.
Yeah. I don't know that was always like my thing. Like when it was always my comfort thing too. When I was like traveling or other places, like I'd always want to teleport back home. So like my parents' house is where I think of right now because that's been home for the majority of my life. So I'd be able to like at any point in time like go back, sit there and like your spot on the couch, same smell, same family, same like everything. Like that's just comfort. So like. If I'm going on vacation to Mexico, whatever, the worst part is like the traveling, getting home. So if I can just pop, I'm home, back, I'm home. Like to always have that home button.
Yeah.
That'd be the ultimate thing of that. There's nothing worse than being like even after an exhausting day at work somewhere, you just can't wait to be home.
Yeah.
Just, home. Home.
Teleporting.
Where would you go?
Who'd have thought? Where would I go? At this very moment, I would teleport to Austria and see my son.
Oh, they're over in Austria. That's a good one. You could always be where your kids are.
Yeah, he's a focus missionary over there, and so
You could teleport to your son. You might end up on the back of a motorcycle. Like, hey, buddy.
Probably would.
Yeah, hey, buddy.
That'd be great.
Why am I going 120?
Shirt off, right?
Yeah. Like, Dad, not again.
All right, what about you, Mike? Where would you go right now?
That makes me think of like, did you ever? So this is going to go back to some people that are maybe born in the '70s, like me. Did you ever watch Quantum Leap?
Yes, I did.
Did you ever see Quantum Leap?
No, but
You know what I'm talking about?
it is on my list.
So if you haven't seen it, every episode, it was an '80s episode or show, but every episode he went back in time, and every episode was him trying to get back to the present time, and so he would just wake up every episode, or at the end of the episode, he would wake up in some crazy random situation, like he's in a dugout and he's got to go up to bat, and he's like, "What in the world?" And then the show would end.
Yeah.
So next week you'd have to watch to see what that show.
Remember.
But anyway, I don't know why I even was talking. So when I thought about teleporting, and then you talked about your parents' house.
Yeah.
I was thinking teleporting where I could go back in time. So I was taking the time factor potentially into play. But when you were talking about your parents' house, I grew up with my mom and dad are both from large families, 8 and 7, and like my grandma's house was this tiny little house, and but they had so many kids and so many grandkids that it was just packed at Christmas. And so you walk in and you sit, and it's kind of like you get lost there, but you're still sort of like so immersed in everything because it's so close and tight, and everybody loves you there. It reminds me of what heaven will be like, I think, someday. But the smells, there's spaghetti on the thing, it's just like I just remember.
Heaven's gonna be like the Sis house.
It could be. I
The
feel like
Sis house on Christmas.
I'm worried these are cracking because they were in the fridge.
One of the questions you got is the genie wish. You got to add the genie wish to that.
All right, so what would it be?
What is the genie wish?
Have you already thought of it?
Everything you eat, like everything I put in my body is exactly what it needs. So if I ate a dozen
Well, that's a
donuts,
good
it
one.
would be like I had the proper amount of protein, chicken, eggs, vegetables.
That's well thought out.
Wow, it'd be nice.
You've been thinking about that one.
That's the dream. So if I ever find the genie,
You turn wedding cake into protein.
into protein or broccoli or what, like it tastes like the sugar and whatever you want to put in there, but body treats it like it's broccoli.
I think that's what heaven's gonna feel like.
I hope so.
You know what?
That's the dream.
You ought to talk to. Do you know Doug Shum?
I don't.
You know Doug? He's a coffee buddy of ours, but he's a big dude too. But he's working on an app that will. Well, I don't want to tell him much about it, but anyway, he's working on it. But it's very nutritional in value. Probably be good. I'd like to get your feedback.
Yeah.
Doug eats like 10 chickens a week. I mean, yeah. He
he's
just
very
eats
healthy.
chicken all day long.
I'm a red meat guy. I gotta have red
Same
meat.
here. I'm a beef guy.
Yeah.
I'll eat the chicken, but
I'll probably get a cow from Larry next year.
Yeah.
I was telling him to get on the radar too.
Yeah,
They'll buy a whole cow.
Yeah.
31st, I think October something.
Yep.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Are you related to Antonio?
Technically, my brother's name is Antonio Banderas, but he's less good looking and less money.
Was that on purpose? Did they do it on
Nope.
purpose?
Nope. I don't know why they went with Anthony.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your ethnicity?
Let's see, would have been my great grandpa, maybe. I think my great grandfather was full Mexican. He was part of the kind of the rebellion army in Mexico, and then they lost. So like he came across the border, and then Odessa, Texas, and then kept working their way up to. Because my grandpa's half Mexican, half French, and so then my dad's like a fourth Mexican, and then so I'd be an eighth. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got enough to get some tan skin and like some curly hair, but not a whole lot. And now like my wife is clear, so I'm gonna keep on diluting.
I wonder if your kid will have blue eyes or.
She wants the blue eyes.
Yeah.
I said, we're brown. We're brown-eyed
Yeah.
people. We're gonna get that out of there.
Well, man, thank you so much for coming on today. You spent a long time with us.
I love it, man.
You're super busy with things, but we'll pray for you. So if you're looking for a wedding venue and you're in Nebraska, the Acreage is amazing. Go check it out. You got a website and everything, right? Where
Yep.
people can
Acreage
check
events.
it out. It's so beautiful. You got to see the pictures, but horses out there. You got. I mean, it's really a great idea.
Donkeys, ducks.
Yeah.
We'll throw them all out.
Great idea. Well, we're excited that you're here. If people have questions or anything, send us. We can kind of get them to Josh. And but yeah, we're just it was great interview, man. We appreciate you being here.
Of course. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we'll see you on the next episode. So hang up your hat, and we'll see you soon.
It's hard to keep them all straight.
That's awesome. I thought you were gonna have me eat that, like do that,
No,
like a raw
man.
egg. Like I thought that's gonna be like, we're gonna have to knock down a raw egg. I'm like, I'm ready.
Oh man, you do it?
All right, do it.
We're gonna do it.
I gotta do it for the show.
Let's roll it back.
Hang up the coat, whatever.
I always screw that part up. Though.
Milk
I
the
need to,
sheep. Wait, no, don't.
Milk their nipple.
I like it.
That's a boy sheep. That's not a what?
That was a good full circle. Like we talked about a third nipple on the
Oh
beginning.
yeah, you brought it.
And then we.
There's a callback.
And there's a coffee thread that was the third nipple. I'm getting my.
Yeah.
There's so many discussions of third nipples.
So probably close to 11,000 people since October have been through those doors.
So I mean, you're on track.
11,000 flushes.
Oh man.
At least.
You'll get really good at how fast things wear out. Like, oh yeah, we need a new flapper in the toilet.
We're already figured it out.
Yeah, you gotta buy commercial grade stuff.
Dang.
Yeah, our lagoon is already testing.
Shoot.
Because I expected to do like 70 events for year one. I'm like, that's probably gonna be and we're gonna do 102 this year. So yeah, before a wedding, it was like literally 20 minutes before, and like 200 guests were showing up, and all of my toilets were clogged. But there was nothing in them.
It was like backing up.
Yeah, the water wasn't going nowhere, so I'm like, that means something's in the main line.
Oh no.
And like, are you gonna get a roto-rooter out on Saturday? In 20 minutes? No. So we would have had to cancel the wedding, but like, I had like a little snake, like everybody's kind of got like a cobalt snake. So I like went outside and I like had to like crank off the clean out thing and shove the snake down in there, and nothing was working. I was just getting covered.
So what happened?
So I had to go run in the like unscrew and get the septic tank lid off, and like get a shovel and like.
Oh man.
And then I unclogged like this toilet paper tampon monster, and it just came whoosh.
So people, they think, oh, you're an entrepreneur, like you just sit back and collect checks. Nobody thinks about the fact that you're out
You got to
there
clean up the septic.
playing with tampon wads and
Let's start
poop out.
because we're missing good stuff. We're missing like good poop stories.
Some good shit.
We need.
You can cuss on this show. That's fine. Oh, we need to pray before we do this.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. Now that we said that,
You want to lead? You want me to lead?
go ahead.
All right, in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, amen. We got some Protestant guys that are in our coffee group on Fridays, and I think there was one time in the thread, one of the guys just genuinely said, he's like, I don't quite get what you guys are talking about, because we said, hey, let's all pray to a certain saint or whatever, and he's like, I don't really get it. And I was like, well, we ask each other to pray for each other, right?
Yeah.
And they're in heaven, so like we're just asking them to pray for us. And he's like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like we don't have to make it complicated and get into theology, like. But
I was trying to see it from like the other point of view, but I just can't understand that. Like, it's his mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My mom's kind of important to me, and like, if you're good with her, you're probably gonna be okay with me.
Yeah, if you disrespect my mom.
Yeah. Or if you ask your mom, if like my mom asked me to do like a favor, like for somebody, I'm probably gonna do it rather than you just ask. I don't know. Tangent.
There's not many times you turn her down.
No,
right? I mean, which would go to the fact of
she's
like,
gonna say, hey, my friend, like she needs this done, can you do it for her? Yeah, of course.
I think even more so than my dad. Like a dad asks you and you're like, yeah, I'll get to it. But when mom does it, you're like, oh yeah.
Not your mom.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I don't know. Side tangent.
It's a good one though.
No, this is all about side tangents. So.
Yeah.
All right,
Kick it off,
we'll
brother.
kick it off, and then so I'll introduce myself. He'll introduce himself, and then we'll introduce you, and then you can say hi. So I think that's about it. Any questions before we go?
I don't.
Let's go.
Rock and roll.
All right.